Hello.
Test.
Test 1 2. Am I rolling? Am I in? Am I
Are
in?
we rolling?
I hear you.
Do
Can you hear me?
I hear you guys.
Am I quiet? Are we quiet? Or no, are we quiet? Am I quiet?
Are you quiet?
How are we sounding? Am I good? Can
There you
hear
go.
me?
How's that?
Am I loud and clear to you
This
guys?
sounds good.
You're loud and clear. Ooh,
Ooh,
It's
I
a little
can
too loud.
I can
Probably a
trust
little
you.
too loud.
loud and clear to me.
Am I loud and hello. Am I too much? Am I too
I'm
much?
gonna back you off a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Back me up a little bit.
Star, I'm gonna leave you where you are.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Sorry,
fine.
you're doing great. How am I doing? I can't hear
You're
myself.
fine.
You know what we need to do? We need to get those little volume knobs where we can
Oh,
adjust
yeah.
to our own. Because I don't want to blow out your ears, Star.
Just don't scream into the.
Okay.
The mic.
Ah!
No.
Wow, look at us, huh? We finally did it. We finally made it, and we're finally back to We Stayed Late,
We're
ladies
here.
and gentlemen. Can you believe it?
Jesus. We stayed really late.
We stayed so late. How long have we stayed late? I stayed out for like a month and a half.
No, like 2 months.
2 months?
It's been 2 months.
Oh my god.
You know why I know how it's been 2 months?
How do you know?
Because the last time I was here after the show, I was just like, I'm kind of like talking to this boy, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I remember,
yes,
I
that's
asked
right.
you guys
Yeah.
advice.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And it's been 2 months, and I was like, I'm still dating this boy. It's weird.
That's amazing.
So yeah, that's why I'm like, oh, I know exactly when the last
Yeah.
time I saw you guys.
That's awesome. How's that going? Well, I guess I don't.
It's cool. It's
Yeah?
cool.
Congrats.
He's real nice. He's real nerdy. I want him to meet you guys. I think you guys
Yeah.
will all get along.
We'll come out and we'll just grill him.
I mean, sure. You should. You should.
Who are you? What do you like? What's your horoscope?
But-
What's your favorite fan? Martha? Where's Lau? Where's Lau? Who's Martha? I'm not wearing hockey pads. Guys, we got so many questions.
Oh my God, we have so many questions.
I did not expect these amount of questions today. I sent out a thing.
I'm always
a
surprised
tweet.
when the Slack is still existing. I'm like, wait.
The Slack is popping. It's always
Slack
popping.
is always popping.
I pop
Do I
in
sound
like,
quiet?
no,
No? Okay, good. Just making sure.
you sound fine.
We sound fine?
Yeah,
I'm
at least
just-
in my headphones, you sound
I'm
fine.
so
Great.
scared. Oh, you have it on your phone too.
Yeah, I do. I pulled it up.
Amazing. Before we get into the questions,
Yeah.
I feel like so much has happened
Oh my God, so much
that
has happened.
I feel like what is going on? You know?
I think everybody should get like a couple minutes to say what's happening.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
That's
like
good,
Like
yeah.
a too long didn't read summary of your 2 months.
TLDR, as the younglings used to are saying.
I already did mine. I'm dating a person
semicolon
that's new.
in the middle of that.
Huh?
Did they use a semicolon? TL semicolon TR?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do they do that? Too long.
Because it's two phrases put together.
It's 2 phrases put together. So
Didn't
it makes
read.
sense.
Got it.
You don't want to put
Well,
period
guys,
there.
I got a new job.
Yeah. Luis has a new job. He's not working with me anymore.
No, we're not working together anymore. It's really interesting. I was thinking
End of
about that
era.
today, how all 3 of us now work at 3 different places.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be kind of interesting.
I think so too.
Because we're going to be able to...
we have to hang out. Like we have to make.
We
it a
have to
point.
hang out. We have to communicate. We can talk about all the projects we're working on at work and then our own personal stuff. And it's like, oh, I wonder what's happening at Group 9 now. You know?
Yeah, because you're not there anymore.
I have
There's a
no
lot of stuff
idea
happening.
what's going on there. So some of the close Whistler fans know what happened. I made the move to IGN.
Woo!
So, yes, I started, June 3rd? So it's been almost
Yeah,
a
it's been
month
a month.
there. They got me in right at E3.
Yeah, how was
Nice.
that?
Oh, man, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was great.
Good.
You know
Was
what?
it stressful or was it good?
It was great. It was a good stress. You know, like that's when you really hit the sweet spot is when it's a good stress. So,
Did it feel like BattleBots? That kind of stress?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay,
but we
like
got
we
to
were
see
running around
yes,
all the time.
It did feel like that.
Just like going
seen a lot of
constantly,
cool
but it's
shit.
fun.
Yeah, seen a lot of cool shit. I wasn't opping this time. I was producing
good.
stuff. So it was really cool. So we had the crew do their thing, and it's so funny when you meet people who's like a camera operator and an editor, because when I start talking to them about stuff, or like I pick up the camera, or I start like asking for things in the edit, it's like they think I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Because they see me as a producer.
Yeah.
You know, they don't see me as like a camera guy or an editor or anything like
yeah.
that. And so they have to like preface everything to be like, okay, well, just so you know, you got to do this. It's like, no. I know. I started off as an editor with 2 VCRs. Okay. And so it was really fun. It was we had to we got a bunch of different pieces out there with IGN. And I got to throw my IGN like clout a little bit. The new Dragon Ball Kakarot RPG.
Yeah.
It came out, and I was like, hey, I'm with IGN. you think you can hook me up? And like, oh, IGN, please. And then
that's amazing.
They brought me to the back room where it was like lemon water and cucumber water. And while the plebeians were outside.
Which one did you drink?
That's
the
amazing.
Lemon water?
And while the plebes were outside standing and playing this game, I got to go to the back where there were fruit and water and sit in a gaming chair.
And fruit water.
Yeah, and fruit water. And sit in a gaming chair. I've never sat in a legitimate gaming chair before. So I cushioned my way in and I got to play like the first, 20 minutes or the first level of Dragon Ball.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
And then the new Avengers game came out.
Oh, yeah.
And they only had exclusive like view of gameplay. You know, so a lot of people were like, how does it work? What is the game like? And there's a lot of questions happening around. And so I just walked up and was like, hey, I'm with IGN. Do you think I can check it out? And they're like, oh, well, I think we already had some people come in and check it out. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm doing a different kind of piece. And they're like, okay, yeah. Come in Saturday at 4 o'clock. And I'm like, okay. And then I walked in, got a cool
amazing.
Avengers badge, and just watched this guy play the new Avengers game. It's not that
Can
great.
you talk about it? Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
Yeah.
everything I've seen from it, I've seen everybody just make fun of like
Basically,
the models.
what you hear out there in the world is true.
Like everybody's. Have you
That
seen any
sucks.
images of it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's just like it don't look
Did you
good.
see the press conference that people were like, "Where's Hawkeye? Hawkeye!"
Oh,
Yeah, no, it didn't. It didn't.
Didn't hit.
It didn't hit. I'm just
No,
gonna say
it's
it
no,
did
it's
not
no
hit.
Spider-Man game.
I mean, it's not news. I'm not saying anything new. Everyone's saying it. You know, I saw it
Yeah.
firsthand. Like it in action. There was like a lot of the gameplay wasn't. I don't know. It was just basic.
Interesting.
You know.
Well, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know, it was just very weird.
Because Spider-Man was so good.
Yeah.
Spider-Man game was so good.
Yeah.
I haven't
It's-
played
I-
it yet.
Oh
Me
my god,
neither.
you have
I
to
know,
play
I
it.
know, I
It's
have
so
to. I know,
good.
I have to.
I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't play.
You have to come over to my house and play.
I know. I feel weird if I just come over and like, okay.
I'm gonna
I-
just sit and play your game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've seen it, but in
Yeah,
my
I saw
house
your
now-
situation
Did you
on,
see my
on
situation?
Instagram.
No. What? And what do you mean? Wait. What? House?
Oh.
So
Oh.
we moved. We
You
didn't
moved.
We don't own a house, but we have like a small house now.
Wow. I didn't know that.
It's a small house.
Where?
It's in North Hollywood.
What? You're close by.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
like
He's like
less
right
than 10
there.
minutes
And I'm
away.
like, when are we hanging out?
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm right down the street from you.
Oh my god. What? Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about where it
You
is
won't say-
later.
Yeah, so you can't find us.
Don't dox me, Louis.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
When did you
it's really
move?
exciting. 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
2 weeks ago I moved.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, it's
Look at us.
we have a yard now.
Dude.
I saw that Instagram post too. I was
the
just
ya-
like, oh, that's legit. That's
the yard
a real
life
yard.
is where it's at.
The yard life
I've been
is
off social
amazing.
media. I'm sorry, guys, but the yard life is where it's at.
So this is not going to make for good podcast content.
Yeah,
so I'll show you later.
Your
But
video
there's-
game setup scared me because of our earthquakes. I was
Yes.
just like, you posted that, and then
Guys,
we had
I'm-
earthquakes, and I was just like,
I missed the
Oh, is that
earthquake
okay?
too.
Did you? You were using
I was
Really?
out of town.
Oh man,
man.
it was intense. Anyway, I'm
Okay,
gonna finish this.
so
and we'll go
much to
earthquake.
talk
There's
about.
so many things to talk about. So I moved and we have a little like front yard now, and it was just completely weeds, like 100% just
Right.
full of fucking weeds. Disgusting. I mean, it was fine. It just was like overrun with weeds.
Don't
Yeah.
tell me you cleaned it up.
We cleaned the whole thing up. We
God
put in
damn it.
artificial
I told
grass.
you not to tell me that.
it looks so
Looks
good
great.
though.
That's awesome.
I'm really excited.
It looks so good. I think Hannah
posted it.
and I
Side by
was just
side.
like, this is
Is it on-
amazing.
She
This
posted it on
looks-
Instagram.
Yeah, I
It
think
was
she
like
posted
it
a
was
story.
stories
Oh,
ages
story.
ago.
But
But I
I'll
was
show you. I'll show you
Yeah,
later.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, so basically, like we did that, and we moved. We moved and did that in like 3 days. We like did the
that's-
whole yard,
God.
and we did the entire inside. We got like a ridiculous amount of new furniture and threw out basically everything.
That's a good
Don't
cleanse.
you also have a new family member?
Yes, we have a new family member.
Yeah,
I have a
I know the-
puppy.
I know the
You
puppy.
You know the puppy. I've had the puppy since we've done this, I think.
Well, but the last
Yeah,
time,
2.5
Really?
months. Yeah.
yeah, the last time we had the puppy,
Oh,
it wasn't
okay,
allowed
yeah.
to like walk
Walk
around.
on the ground. Now it's allowed to walk.
Okay,
It's
okay.
it's outside.
I wanna meet
runs
the
around
puppy.
outside.
It's
Yeah.
so interesting because when you brought the puppy to work, it was so chill and so cool. But then you talk about how much of a demon dog he can be at night.
So he's been so much better. Like,
Okay.
It's
Okay.
just he is.
Is it really those like early first like days, like almost like having a baby? Where
It
you
is
have
exactly that, and he's still crazy and still chews on lots of things. But
He's
like
still a puppy.
what it was is he was very sick, and so when he
Oh.
felt better, because we like rehabilitated him.
Right.
So when he felt better, he was like, "I'm alive!" And then like
Yeah.
ran and ate everything.
Do you like run in tight circles?
Yes, all like
Oh.
just
I love it.
as fast as he can possibly run. And he still does that, which is great. It's what dogs do. But he was a
sounds so
wild
cute.
man for a little bit. Now he's sort of like mellowing out. He's at like 5 months now. He's about to hit that 6 month mark. And
What does that mean?
Wait,
hitting the 6 month mark.
How did
Is it
your
like a big
your
growth?
it's okay. He's just like they start to mature a little more.
Oh,
They
okay.
start to
how did your
understand what
other
things are.
dog handle the hyperness?
So did I talk about talk about how we did it?
No, no.
No, I don't
Okay,
think so.
So the way that we did it is that we went down to San Diego to get.
Oh
the
wait,
dog.
you know that part? Yes, that part you
and,
did.
and then we stayed in a hotel.
Oh
yeah, that part, yeah.
So that we were able to like keep them, introduce them on
neutral
grounds, and then we brought them home. And
Smart.
so he's doing a lot better with him now that we've moved, especially because it doesn't feel like his space anymore. Like
Oh, so
before
now
the
it's like
house was-
new
Everyone's-
neutral ground.
That's how it was when I moved because we had
Cats.
my cats and Sarah's cats,
Yeah.
and then we moved. And it was like new territory.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
one claimed to anything.
Yeah, there was no claim, so it was fine. So that's been really good, and yeah, I mean it's been a journey. It's like having a child, you know.
Oh yeah, well, it's a
But-
little, that's a little ball. Fluff.
Yeah, we're definitely having like puppy fever.
Oh yeah.
And we're
Yeah,
like,
every
we
time you
can't.
post a picture, I'm like, damn it, I kind of want a dog.
I know, we looked at some dogs.
I'm going to talk about a really scary thing that happened for a minute, just because there are good and bad things of having a dog. One of the bad things is just like a kid, you always think it's dying.
Oh,
So
that's very scary.
So I was at work. It was about 6:30 or 7. We were there late because of Shark Week. We'd just done Getting Dug with High in the office.
Recently.
This was recently. This was probably about a week or two ago.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I'm sitting on the couch in one of the conference rooms, and Newton starts acting really strange, and then he falls back and starts having a seizure. And I was like, oh, he's dying. He's going to die. He's going to die in my arms right now. And I was trying to figure out what to do. I knew there was a hospital, a dog hospital or an animal hospital nearby.
Yeah.
So it's right down the street. So I took a breath. I packed up all my stuff, got him under my arm, and ran to the car. He was like in the car. His eyes kept like closing, like he was going. And I was like, "You gotta stay." I felt like a movie. I was like,
Yeah.
"You gotta stay with me. Like you gotta stay awake, because if you close your eyes, you're gonna be gone."
Yeah.
I got him to the hospital, and I was like, "My dog's having seizures. His eyes are closing. I think he might be dying." They're like, "Okay, we're gonna get him back right now. Give him fluids." Blah blah blah. Anyway, the doctor comes out like maybe 10 minutes later and is like, "Is there any way your dog is high?" I was like, "Oh no."
Oh
He must
no.
have gotten weed from.
Oh
Dog.
no! Are you serious?
And apparently with small dogs, weed causes them to sometimes have seizures.
Oh
And
my
so-
god.
So
wait,
yeah,
so did he eat weed or was he just around
he
weed
was
or
just in the office when they did it, when they did the show, and that's got secondhand
holy?
Oh my
shit.
god.
so he's fine. They said there's no permanent damage from weed. It's just really scary for them and really scary for you because you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But anyway, PSA: don't get your dog high. They don't get high. They just have seizures. It doesn't affect
Holy
dogs
crap.
the same way it affects humans, basically.
I'm gonna piggyback off of this thing.
Sure.
I just got a plant a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we were like in the room. We were in our house, and we were watching Queer Eye, and it was super inspirational. And it was like, be you, respect yourself, let yourself treat yourself well. And we always wanted to get a plant for the house,
Yeah.
And we were just like, fuck it. Let's just go to Lowe's right now and get a fucking plant. It's like 8:30 at night. They're going to close in 30 minutes. Let's just go and get one.
I love this inspirational, let's go get a plant
Let's just
right
do
now.
it. Yeah,
Let's just
we
do this.
we can always say
That's
we'll
what
do
we
it
did, but with a dog. So.
Yeah. It's like, we'll just do it tomorrow. No, we always say we're going to do it tomorrow, and then we never do it. And it's just like, you just got to go when you hear the instinct.
Yeah.
So we go get it, and we connect with this plant, and then we come home, we get it situated, and then we got overly excited and realized that the Benjamina ficus plant is toxic to cats and to dogs. So that's why...
Jeez.
Yeah, and so we were really bummed out about it because we didn't know, we
It
couldn't.
was like it wasn't just a plant; it was a tree.
Yeah,
it's
you
like
got like a tree.
Yeah, and we were really bummed out about it because if we returned it to Lowe's, apparently we read the blogs and that they would just throw the tree away because they don't know what's happened with the tree. They can't sell the tree because they don't know what condition it's in.
Jeez.
Oh.
That's why you give it away.
So yeah, and so I was trying to give it away, and we wanted to make sure it was in a nice home. We were like panicking about a tree, We wanted to make sure it was like good and happy. This tree, and then I put it outside temporarily while we were sleeping because I didn't want the cats to get it. And so it was that day I made a post on Instagram about free tree, and then me and Sarah talking about it, and then what if it just stays outside? What if we just keep it outside? It looks nice. And that's what we did. We ended up just keeping it
Okay,
outside.
good. I was wondering. I was just like, you have like a little yard too.
Yeah, and
the
so
cats don't
it
really
was
go
just
in the
like but the
yard.
thing. It's very fickle, and so when it gets cold, we have to figure out what to do.
You just put a sweater on it.
I think so. It's just so incredibly fickle. Apparently, like when you move from one pot to another pot, it like freaks out and loses leaves. It didn't, surprisingly. So now we're in the market of finding like a gardener or somebody who knows how to like take care of things. Because we don't know if like the soil's too dry.
Right.
We don't know if it's too wet. Because if it's too wet, then it's gonna rot. But if it's too dry, and then it has to make sure if it's breathing in the soil. And we're like freaking out. We're like, no, this is good. We're learning a new like skill.
Arborism.
Yeah, it's like it's a good challenge to have,
Question.
and it's our emotions are on the line.
Do you remember when we first went to Group 9, the WeWork space, everybody got an air plant?
Yeah.
I've still been keeping those guys alive.
Have you really?
Yeah,
amazing.
the one of them again had babies again, so now they've duplicated, like they're still attached to each other. But I still have. Do you want your air plants back?
I mean, I don't want to take them away from your.
I mean, they're just hanging out, like it's fine. But I was just like, if you're getting back into the groove of like growing things,
when the time comes, and like I'm at your house or we go somewhere, and like, the universe brings us together.
Okay.
I'll take her back in. I will accept the plant.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, they're just hanging out. I've like acquired a bunch of plants as well recently. Mostly like I got my mom to send me like bits of her plants in Miami, and one of them was like, honestly, she was like, oh, it's the bush tea plant. And I was like, what plant is this? What is this? She's like, oh, I got it from St. Martin. She's had it for decades.
Whoa.
Wow.
And whenever I was sick, she would take a couple leaves, boil
I
some
remember
water.
you posting about what
and I was just like,
what it was.
and years did not know what this plant was. When I asked her, she's like, it's just the bush tea plant. I've asked aunts and uncles, oh, yeah, it's a bush tea plant. I'm like, well, what is it? Because when you look at bush tea plant, you don't get that. And I was like, what is this? We drink this. And eventually I just asked Twitter, and they figured it out. It's like Caribbean version of cilantro.
Whoa.
Or like it's like in that. Oh no, oregano.
Family?
Sorry, it's
Oregano?
It's like Caribbean oregano, and it has a bunch of names, including one of them is witch's oregano, which I was
What?
like,
That's awesome.
That's
cool.
awesome.
So I got her to send me some, and I'm like growing it in like a jar of water right now. I need to move it to an actual pot with dirt.
Yeah.
But right now I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to keep this alive because now this is like tradition. Because this was essentially my grandma's plant. Because my grandma gave it to my mom. She's been growing it for decades in Miami. Now I have a piece of that. And I'm like, I need to keep this alive because this is like, now this has become like a generational thing.
It's a family plant.
And the fact that it's like something my mom used to like when I was sick would make tea out of it because it's just oregano. It's not like anything like crazy. Yeah. But I also found out like cats and oregano, not so great. However, it's not like a plant that they would necessarily like go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my cats are crazy. They lick at everything. They're up. It's like
yeah, so I'm like, but I'm also where I have it right now. They can't get to it.
So
yeah, okay.
So I
just go to plants and
I
lick
have
it.
to figure out. Essentially, I want to figure out how to hang it so that they can't like get to it.
Yeah.
Smart.
But
welcome to Plant Talk.
Plant Talk. Yeah, we're trying to get a green thumb. If you're in the LA area and you know how to deal with plants, let me know. I'm going on Nextdoor. I'm asking people on Nextdoor. Like,
that's a good way to do it.
I keep getting like just people who take care of lawns, and I'm like, I don't need like a lawn person. I need somebody who knows
you need
plants.
Arborist.
An arborist.
Oh, you know what? Maybe like there's
like a nursery.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a bunch of nurseries around. I'm sure if you just went to a nursery and it was just like,
you could just take a baby and then raise that baby to learn about trees.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm.
Go to a
do. nursery,
steal a baby.
Next time you see us in 2 more months, I'm gonna have a baby.
Like, how did Luis get a baby in 2 months?
Little plant tree. Plant
yeah, I guess
tree.
I'll go to the plant nursery and I'll just make some connections.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, I got this Benjamina ficus.
It might be like this thing. Like every time you go to the nursery to ask questions, you end up buying a new plant too.
Man.
And then but you have this space in the yard
That's
for
true.
it. So it's like
you gotta act like it's real. You gotta act like it's real shady too when you go in there and just be like,
I'm here to get some green.
And then you just slide the 20 across the table and be like,
don't tell anybody.
I need one of those arborists.
I mean, at some point, like they'll probably just be like, "Oh yeah, we got weed," and then they'll just like give you the plant.
No. I need
an arborist.
An arborist.
Really
I
freak
need
him out.
The
arborist. Can you hook me up?
Can you hook me up, please? I'll be in the back in 20 minutes.
So we have so many things to talk about. I also want to talk about. Well, have you seen Spider-Man?
Every time Spider-Man comes up on this podcast, I never see it. You know why? I don't know why. I'm sorry. I haven't seen
That's okay.
Spider-Man,
That's
everybody.
fine.
That's
I got
Save it.
spoiled by the internet. That's
Wait,
okay.
which part did you get spoiled in?
I can't say because then it's
Then
gonna-
it's spoiled for other people. We
Let's
can't
say,
perpetuate the
how about
spoiler.
this? How about this? I'll say this. Something that we have discussed here in this podcast came to fruition.
It's been so long, man. I don't remember.
We'll talk about it after.
I think it's a spoiler. I feel like it is.
Okay, what was the other one we wanted to talk about?
Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4.
I did see Toy Story 4.
great.
Yes, we could talk about that.
Talk about Toy Story 4.
I was saying
Feelings, reactions.
Feelings was Spencer made this ages ago because we played this campaign in one of the games we played.
We played an RPG that was in the Toy Story universe. And
where we are all toys
Yes.
and we had a mission and it was
it was
very close to the movie.
basically Toy Story 4.
So I was just saying, you guys said this earlier, that you have Disney truly in your hearts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
channeled Disney. 'Cause
Yeah.
we played out that entire story.
I mean, the whole thing of like,
I know.
yeah, of just like, do you stay behind?
Yep.
Do you like go back to like your kid?
Yep, a toy
You
finding
know.
its purpose.
Yeah,
Is
the
it,
whole it was just like, huh, interesting.
yeah.
There was microphones in your old apartment.
Yes. You okay?
I set a timer because this camera can only record for 30 minutes, so I'm going to pop out.
So we're gonna
and pop-
click.
Great.
You're good.
Snap?
You're good.
What if we
No,
snap?
let's just keep recording the audio portion.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I thought it was the best that a fourth movie in a series could have
Yeah,
been.
I felt like it wasn't a necessary.
It wasn't necessary at all, but it
movie,
was.
because 3 was such a like good conclusion.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind it. It felt like if this had come out on like Disney Plus or something, I would have been like, oh, this is a good like bonus movie. Because like Buzz wasn't even in it that much, but I also wonder if that's like Disney being like, Tim Allen, you're kind of
Yeah, Tim Allen's not great.
Yeah.
Tim Allen's you're not good for our brand currently.
Did
So
you
I
see that
wonder-
video of him and Tom Hanks?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
my
so
God, it was
good.
so good. Tom Hanks is legit. I love Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
He's so great. It was just
And
what was
seeing
it,
him in
Spades?
contrast-
But
yeah,
here's,
Spades.
You know what's so funny? Because after that,
Wait,
everyone was just like,
let's explain
Oh,
what it
yeah,
is.
I don't know
for
what
the
this
audience.
is.
So there's a junket interview video of there's like kind of a black entertainment interviewer, and he's asking them about somehow Spades
Some of the topic
came
of
up.
Spades comes
Spades
up, yeah.
comes up, which is like
Spades?
it's a card game,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like and it's kind of common in like if you like city. It's a common city
Right.
card game. I wish I knew how to play it. That was one of the things. I was like, fuck, I never learned how to play, but I saw people playing it. But anyway, the interview asked him about Spades, and Tom Hanks just kind of goes in on like, oh yeah, and like just like it's old hat. Like, yes, he used to play down in Oakland and did this and da and like, while Tim Allen's just kind of like there like, I don't really know anything about that, and it was just kind of like tuned out, and it was just like a weird. It was just real weird. Like it was a very clear
It showed
like
the juxtaposition between Tim Allen and Tom Hanks very well. Where Tom
Wow.
Hanks
yeah,
is
like
cultured and
culture and who you hang out with, and like because it's also like Spades is a very like it's a southern game, but it's also like a black game. Like those are like generally when you hear, and it's one of those like I watched it and I was just like, fuck, I gotta go look up how to play Spades because it never. I saw people playing it, but it was always when I grew up, it was always grown folks playing Spades.
yeah.
And my mom didn't play it because that's not a game you play in the Caribbean, so she wasn't into it. So it was like one of those. I'm like, I never got to learn. That's a grown folks game. But I realized I'm a grown folk now. I should know
can.
how to play Spades. But
Yeah. But you're also
One
not
day.
in the South, so it's a little bit.
no, but
Different.
like I don't know. I still
We're in
want to
Southern
know.
California.
You could. It's true.
SoCal?
I mean, you can still learn. I'm just saying you're not surrounded in that
Right.
culture as
That's
much.
true.
It's
It's
not
like
as
I mean, I learned how to play dominoes growing up because like that was like.
Is that the game
Cuban
where you
culture.
stand them all up and then you push them all down?
I mean, that's a version of dominoes.
that's what I learned to
Yeah.
play as a kid.
But the actual
It's
dominoes,
also my life.
actual dominoes is legit. It's really fun. And
It
the
is
sound,
fun.
And the
Or
sound
where you're
of like
matching. Isn't where you're matching?
you're matching numbers,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's and you just kind of make a pattern.
But you can
like,
also work as a team.
yeah.
Have you done that? Where it's like I set it up for you, and then
Yeah.
you can play your
It's
domino.
like you kind of like whoever's across you, like you're trying to beat the other two people.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And honestly, the best part though is like flipping them all over and like rubbing them on the table. To,
Sometimes
like,
they have
mix
that
them up.
little like metal ball.
Yeah, and you
and-
could spin them.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's so good. Dominoes is the best. We should play dominoes.
We do a let's play dominoes. Let's learn to play spades.
It's good ASMR.
ASMR.
Yeah, that.
That combination of letters.
That combination of letters. Yes.
I played Mancala as a kid, but not the way you're supposed to play
I've
Mancala.
never played that game, and I really wanted to learn.
Too.
Would just pick up the beads and just let them run through my fingers, and then pretend I played Mancala.
Oh, we should learn how to.
I know
I
that
really
you
want to
pick
learn
up stuff, and then you leave one behind and drop the something like that.
It looks like
yeah.
madness to me. Like I don't know what is happening. I don't know how it works. Is it like bocce ball but on the board?
I don't know how to play bocce ball.
Is it like dodgeball but on a board?
I know how to play dodgeball.
Well,
You know how to play Mancala.
Okay.
I've always wanted to learn how to play backgammon.
Okay, so it's so funny. There's where I used to live was in Los Feliz, and Los Feliz is right next to a place called Little Armenia, which is like it sounds, a small collection of Armenian residents, or rather a large collection of Armenian. There's a lot of Armenian people, and outside of our apartment, all the time there was right across the street there was a yard outside of an apartment complex, and there was a backgammon table, like a table that had backgammon stuff on it, and almost every day there were these like 60, 70, 80-year-old Armenian men that would just play backgammon like literally for hours and hours on end, just play backgammon all day, every day.
I just always wanted to learn how to play that one.
Those guys are fucking nerds.
Yeah, it's just different nerds.
There's nerds everywhere. They're just different kinds.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's
so
I
cool.
want to learn all the like.
You guys are nerds, and I like you.
Essentially, all the old man, old lady, social games. I'm like, I want to know.
I think we labeled them all, right? I mean, besides chess and checkers and possibly Chinese checkers.
I never learned bridge either.
Bridge.
Bridge was
bridge.
there. I never learned that.
Did you guys ever play Speed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
You ever play War?
Yes. War's classic.
Oh, War is like choice.
War's very good.
Yeah.
It is entirely luck based.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
but
it
that's
is.
what makes it fun.
Yeah. And Uno was one I growing up
Uno's
played.
good.
Yeah,
I played Monopoly this past weekend.
Did you really?
But I
How
played
was
the
it?
Cheaters edition.
What's that? Is it the Millennium?
So what it is you get
the Millionaires Monopoly, where everybody starts with a small loan of $5 million.
No, you become very paranoid very quickly. So you get there's 6 cards. It's a little bit different, but for the most part, it's the same thing as Monopoly. But you get 6 cards in the middle, and they're goals that you can accomplish. So it's like steal money from the bank, shortchange people on like paying rent, charge more for your rent. Sneak out of jail, all of this stuff. And everybody's like paranoid about like, okay, how much money do you have? Okay, how much are you giving me? You show me everything that you got, and you have to leave all the money flat out. And it just constantly, and if you get away with it and you, before the person's next turn, you get like $50 or $100, or sometimes you could take somebody else's property.
So
that sounds
this
horrible
sounds
and amazing.
like America.
Yeah. No, it was. And then at some point, I got tired of cheating because it was like exhausting. Yeah. Because I was always on my nerve, and I was always trying to find a good way to like take something, and so I just started to play, normally. And somebody who wasn't cheating started cheating and took my properties, took my money, and I was like, "What the hell? This is like America."
Yeah, that's exactly. Honestly, I was like, if I was playing that, I would play it straight until like it was time.
The very end.
Yeah, no, people moments would go by, and you think everything is fine. They're like, "Okay, give me $50." I'm like, "What? What just happened?" They're like, "Oh yeah, I just stole money from you." I'm like, "Oh my God." And so like we created rules of like, okay, we're all going to leave the living room right now together. Everybody stand up. We're going to the kitchen to eat lunch, and then we're not going to step back in until we're ready to go.
That's fun though.
Yeah, it was fun. It was just like
it's very meta.
It turned on a part of my brain that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
That's
cool. That's fun.
So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I haven't played Monopoly in a very long time, but the last time I played it, it was not good.
I never finished a game.
I never finished Monopoly.
It's one of those games that's just like.
Which is your favorite Monopoly piece?
Fuck it. No, I can't. Star.
Which piece?
I can't. No.
You
I can't give Monopoly that satisfaction.
You don't like the iron?
Really?
The dog?
The dog's my favorite.
The
Everybody
dog
likes
is
the
good.
dog.
I just feel bad giving them like any set. Do you know the story of Monopoly? Does everybody know the story of Monopoly?
Oh yeah,
No.
it was supposed to not be.
So yeah, okay. So here's the story of Monopoly. It's not
Settle in, everybody.
It's not a long story, but it's a good story.
Okay, we'll settle in anyway.
I'm gonna pull up my phone so I remember exactly the details.
This is
but
great.
basically, there was Monopoly was a game that was designed by a communist.
Okay.
To show the evils of capitalism.
So
So
it's like a propaganda piece.
yeah. So Monopoly. Here we go. I'm just gonna pull it up. Lizzie McGee, I think her name is. I think that's how you
Cousin of
pronounce it.
Mr. Magoo.
Cousin of Mr. Magoo. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pull up right here. History. So basically, in 1903, an anti-monopolist named Lizzie McGee created a game which she hoped would explain the single tax theory of Henry George, who was some like economist or something.
Right.
Dude.
It was intended as an educational tool to illustrate the negative aspects of concentrating land in private monopolies.
Okay.
She took out a patent in 1904 on her game. It was called The Landlord's Game, and it was self-published beginning in 1906.
Very good. Good for her.
Then,
put herself out there.
then after the sales of the Christmas season in 1934, Parker Brothers basically took the game and started selling it themselves.
What year did they do that?
1935 is when they started selling it.
Okay, so she had it for a bit.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff in between. It's basically after a meal, this other person introduced somebody to the game, and they played several times, and the game was new to that person, and then they asked that person for their set of rules, and that night they went on to make this guy named Darrow. What's his real name? Charles Darrow. Went on to make his own. Yeah, not Darwin. Darrow went on to make his own version that he called Monopoly, and then his friend who gave him the directions was like, "Dude, you just fucking stole that game. I'm not talking to you anymore."
Oh my god!
And then Parker Brothers bought the copyright from Darrow, and then produced it, and it became the best-selling game of all time.
Yeah, because the warning, it's supposed to be
and it's supposed to be a warning against capitalism.
Yeah,
right, because everyone ends up you end up fighting. You get heated or you don't finish it, and it's a miserable experience toward the end, which is supposed to be the lesson learned of look how bad capitalism
and
is.
it's the go-to family
yeah, but everyone's just but that was fun though.
Yes. So she made it with the intention of it being a lesson.
That's hilarious.
And then everybody was like, "Oh, that's fun. That's
fun,
America."
yeah.
And then they made it.
I understand that feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, but even it even has a life beyond that. In 1936, they began licensing it out of the United States. So in 1941, the British Secret Intelligence Service had one of the licensed manufacturers of the game in the UK create a special edition for World War II prisoners of war held by the Nazis. And hidden inside these games were maps and compasses and real money and other things that were really useful for escaping. And they were distributed to prisoners by British Secret Service created fake charity groups inside of Germany.
Whoa!
Damn, this is a movie. This is a movie that I have to see.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's great.
So because the version had no specific pro-Nazi elements, it continued in use after the war, and it formed the basis for Monopoly games in the Netherlands and all of them. So the games in the Netherlands have a little bit of a different spin to them because of that. But yeah.
That's
fucking
incredible.
crazy. Anyway,
That's
there's even more to
awesome.
the story if you want to look it up.
What type of you know how Monopoly will do different franchises?
Yeah.
Which franchise would you get if you had to get a
Harry
Monopoly?
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Breakout Azkaban.
Oh, Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad's good. My two, I have one in here in this godforsaken mess. When I was super into Pirates of the Caribbean, that was really cool.
Oh yeah,
but
that's a good
I really want to get a Bob's Burger one.
Yeah,
I don't know, something about
good.
the colors and the animation
you
of
would
it.
still have the boardwalk.
You would still have the
You
boardwalk.
still have the boardwalk.
It just
so
seems like it'd be
funny.
really bubbly and fun to have, bright colors, rounded edges, fun dollars, cool pieces.
Would Bob's Burgers and Jimmy Pesto be the first two pieces?
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know.
Or would they be one of the expensive pieces?
What's the landlord's
We're actually
name?
going to play Prices Right now.
Oh, shit. What's his name?
Oh, Mr. Turtle.
I don't remember.
Anyway,
Turtle face.
everybody would be him. I think that's how that works, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
you're all
yeah.
landlords.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be great. That would definitely make it more fun. There's one called the Millennial Edition. I don't think it's real.
Where everyone's broke and it's just rent.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Let me see if I can find it. I sent it to Hannah. Let me see if I can pull it up. Anyways, yes, it is a themed version of Monopoly that is just basically you start out with debt and everybody loses.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Have you
So
seen that?
good.
There's like a picture of a meme where it's like, what's it called? When you get all your money, what you get your gross rate, which is like all the money you make before taxes, and then right, gross pay is like money you get.
Gross
before,
is, yeah,
your
gross
gross
and then
sum-
net.
and net, right? So gross is like this is gross net, and there's an image of fresh spinach in a pot, and then what's the next one?
It's gross and then net.
And then net is like the spinach when it's been cooked.
And it's so tiny.
And it's just incredibly tiny.
That's so
like you
funny.
could literally use a whole box of spinach and you're like, oh, this will be fine. And then you dwindle it down and it's like a spoonful of spinach.
That's hilarious.
It's like cotton
Aw.
candy when you just like
Yep.
dissolve it in water and it
Yep.
just disappears.
That is my life. That is my life after moving. I had
That's
money.
amazing.
I had savings before, and
Yeah.
now I have
Now it's
no
gone.
savings.
Now it's like, no, but
Um,
you have a nice place.
It's true.
Yeah, it's
true.
good.
So the other thing I was gonna tell you about was the setup, the TV setup, because you can come
Oh,
play.
yes. Sweet.
you-
Originated with the Spider-Man.
Come
talk.
play Spider-Man, because we now have. Basically, we had the one TV that we got from that auction. Remember
Yes.
that TV I won from the auction? The TV we won from the auction that was great. It's only like $80. It's a huge, big screen TV. That's sitting on our entertainment system. And we had the guy. We have another TV that we used to have in the bedroom, but we want to be able to play games together. And so we brought a guy to mount it to the wall.
Very cool.
And the guy was so confused when he came in because
he was
I
like,
told
why
him
do you want two TVs?
I was like, I want it mounted on that wall. And he was like, okay, well, you should move that TV so I can put it on the wall. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I want it on that wall. I want it on that wall above the TV. He's like, wait, but that's going to be really high if you just don't remove the TV and you have me mount it, because then when you take off the other TV, it's going to be too high. And I was like, sir, you don't understand.
There's going to be two TVs.
I want I want two TVs on my wall.
Yes.
I want one on the bottom and I want that one on top. He was like, I don't and I was like, it doesn't just
do it, sir.
just
please.
do it, sir. I've hired you to come out. I'm paying you by the hour. But yes,
That's
now we have a
hilarious.
TV and now we have a TV mounted above it, so Hannah and I can play
He's
games at the
probably
same time.
telling that story to all his buddies. Like,
Yeah.
they wanted a TV
Well, and then
on
he was like,
top of a TV.
he was like,
Yeah.
why? And I was like, because we both play video games. And he was like, oh man.
you just blew his mind.
And then it went into his eye and
Yeah.
just saw like tears and then the galaxy and then just an
Yes.
explosion of like a white hole as his like.
and then it zoomed back out.
And he was like, cool.
Cool. That man, I wish I was how some people want to be a fly in a room for
Yeah.
a conversation. I would love to be a fly in a room for that conversation, just to see his realization, where his face
Yeah.
realizes what's happening.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sir, we
yeah,
have to
that makes
move
sense.
the
That makes sense
TV.
now. Okay, I get it.
It was,
That's
but yeah. So
great.
now we have dual mounted TVs.
That's awesome, man.
So we can play at the same time, or like if you want to play Spider-Man,
you could
somebody else could be playing something else or watching Netflix
Yeah.
or whatever. So anyway,
That's
Speaking
awesome.
of Netflix, have you guys seen Stranger Things?
episode 1.
I only watched season 1 because it was scary, and I was.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's right. That's
And
right.
I was just like-
Are-
I was
You're not a
just
horror
like,
person.
So
that show was too scary for me. I'm good. I'm
So
good.
here it's really cool. In Burbank, they transformed a Baskin Robbins into Scoops Ahoy.
Into Scoops Ahoy, yeah, the place where one of the characters
Oh.
works.
It's and like I'm reading
Are
news
they
articles.
wearing the outfits?
I think so. And they've introduced 3 ice cream flavors and a lemonade ice cream thing. So I went there opening day, and actually we shot a People Be Like taste test video.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yay.
So I think it might get released tomorrow or next week. But yeah, it was like me, John, and Jessica, and we went there for the opening, and they had like a boat and everything. But what was my God? I forgot my point.
That it was fun.
You brought
Stranger
up Stranger
Things.
Things.
Yeah,
And
you know,
you
I
saw it?
forgot. But that's it, everybody.
Did you
Goodbye.
like it?
Did you know that there's a in Korea? I think it's in Koreatown. There is a there is a restaurant bar. I think it's actually just a bar. I don't know if it's a restaurant or bar, whatever it is. But it is it's a bar thing, and you walk behind these like gates, and when you get into it, it's a ship,
I've been there.
and it's all themed
Yeah.
Jack from Titanic.
Yep. I've
What?
been there. It's real weird.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's not themed Titanic.
It's just Jack from Titanic.
It's just Jack from Titanic.
Where is this again?
In
It's
Koreatown.
in Koreatown. I've been there.
What's
Here?
it called?
It's a boat. It's a boat. Like
It's in L.A.
It's a sushi.
Okay.
It's a sushi place.
Tell me where that place is right now. I'm going
Just
there
look
this
up
weekend.
Korea, but and it was weird. There's so many little rooms you could just like hang out and eat in
Koreatown.
if you wanted to. They'll let you
Cafe Jack is what it's called.
What? Okay,
They'll
Koreatown.
let you walk around it.
It's a casual Titanic themed. That's a lie. It's a Jack from Titanic.
Oh no,
theme.
it's just Jack. From
Restaurant in
Titanic.
a ship-like building serving
Holy
Asian fusion
shit.
fare, including
Okay.
sushi.
I didn't eat there. I just went and they were like, yeah, you can walk around. And I was like, sweet.
This Koreatown psychic loved Titanic so much, he made his own ship.
A psychic?
Yep.
This story just gets
Almost
thicker
as
and
good as the
thicker.
Monopoly story.
I went, and mind you, I want to go back during the day, but I went there like in the evening, and it was just like it kind of turned. It's like a weird nightclub.
that.
It was weird.
Oh my god. That's
And
Yeah,
the
go look
parking-
up Cafe Jack.
Also, fun fact: that parking lot leaks tar.
Oh, fun.
Have you ever gone to the beach and got tar on your feet?
Yes, I have.
No.
I was like, what is going on?
I
Why
was
do
like,
I
why?
can't, yeah.
And it was just like, no, that's just nature. And I was just like, but it's tar. And it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, it comes out from underneath the ground. We have the tar pits for a reason. There's tar pits actually all over the city, including the beach. You'll walk around and get tar on your feet.
I was
and
at
it won't come off.
it won't come off, and it was like it was the strangest thing. It was just there. It was at
Was it near Malibu?
yes, it
Yep.
was near Malibu. It was that one with the cool rocks.
Yes, that's the cool place. It's like a beautiful place.
It's where they shot
And
like
you're-
a lot of like alien type movies
It's just
by the beach.
it,
What's the name? Everybody knows this
It
place.
starts with an M.
Yes, it starts with an M. You've been there, Spencer. If anybody's been there, you've been there.
Is it just Mountain Beach? It's
No,
not Mountain
I'll
Beach.
find it.
Spencer,
I feel like you've been to this type of place before.
It's real cool.
What
I
kind
have no idea what
how
you're
many
talking
beaches-
It's
about.
a beach in Malibu.
I've been to 3
it's a
beaches.
state park.
Yeah, Spencer, I feel like
That's a lie. I've been to
okay.
I've been to a lot more beaches than that. No, I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never been there.
It's
Maybe I have. Maybe if you find it, I'll.
I feel like you would be here.
beach. Hold on. We're gonna find this real
Oh,
quick.
I
Sorry.
put a mark of where Tony Stark would live.
In Malibu? Yeah, that's so good.
Okay, where we are searching. It starts with an M. Why can't I think of what it's called? It's not Malibu. It's like Manchego Pier, Manchego Beach. It's like
El Matador.
El Matador.
Yeah.
Nope, never been there.
I was like, it starts with an
The
M.
Bull?
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah,
El
Matador.
El Matador State Beach.
Yeah,
never been
They
there.
have
I got
real
the
big
ma.
rocks.
I got the ma.
Ma.
They got real big rocks, and it's real cool, and it's
I'll
beautiful.
have to go.
But
Yeah.
it's not every time you go, because I've been several times, and it's not every time you go, but just every blue moon, like
Literally, because that'd be
that'd
awesome.
be really cool. No, they do have a thing though. If you go to Malibu at certain times of year, there's certain fish that just come out. They'll
Oh.
like just come out.
They walk out of the ocean?
Yeah, and people go and pick them up and eat them.
Cool.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Yeah.
people just go to be like, look at all these fish that come out of the water, just because they come out of the water. It's real weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We're doing Shark Week right now.
Yeah. How's that going?
Oh my god, it's insane.
So
as usual.
I hear that you didn't go.
I
to
didn't go.
location,
I didn't
so
go this year.
Is that good, bad?
Both.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. It's good, or I'm gonna say why it's bad first. It's bad because I don't get to go to the Caribbean for free,
Right. It's,
which is really fun. Going out and shooting it is really really fun. But Discovery, true to their name, discovered that they could get free vacations to the Bahamas instead of
the old.
I.
Yes.
And they were like, "Why are we sending this child
Yeah.
when I, a 65-year-old executive from
Yes.
Discovery, could instead get a free vacation to the
That's
Bahamas?"
hilarious.
So they decided to go, which is, I'm about to get to the good part, not as bad for me because that means that they're in charge of getting all the creative. So
if they don't get a shot-
have something, I
That's on
go,
them.
guys, they go, why don't we do this? And I go, did you shoot it? And they go, no. And I go, well,
That blows my mind when they say something like that. What about this? You were there at the shoot. Do you not remember
So
not
the
shooting
team
that?
this year has been really, really good. The
Okay,
Discovery
I'm
team has
sorry.
been great.
Very good. I don't mean
But-
to throw shade at you.
No. In past years, I very well could have seen that happening. This year, the people who are there
No, that's awesome.
are great, and so there have been no requests for like, hey,
Shit.
hey, do this thing.
Can we have
and
the shark flip over and then attack you?
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
like, no, because they didn't do that. They knew they were there,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
there
They were
are
like-
none of those requests. But if they were to come with me with
Yeah.
that, like they
You
have
could
in
be like,
previous
can you
years,
send me there?
I'd
And
be like,
we'll go shoot it.
yeah, then did you do that? No. Okay,
You
then
also
we can't
didn't
do
get
it.
you didn't get a crazy sunburn like
It's
last
true. I didn't get crazy sunburn.
Man.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot less pressure, but also a
Yeah.
lot less kind of creative.
It's that give and
say.
take that you kind of get.
Yeah, like I don't own it as much as I owned it the previous years, but we're doing some really cool episodes, and I'm really excited.
It's funny because some of my stuff's still connected to Group 9.
Yeah.
And what's stuck in my calendar is the Shark Week delivery.
Oh, really? So
And
you're
so
seeing all of it.
Yeah, I
That's
get
great.
like week 1 edit, like color. I think we're at color phase right now or something.
Yeah, for episode 1.
Yeah, I got the color episode of 1 due,
So
and
funny.
so it's just like I kept getting those notifications, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And I don't want to delete it because I just, it's like
It's fun.
It's fun. I like to be reminded of what's going on.
Yeah,
over
yeah, it's cool. We're next week is our last week in post production on that,
Yeah.
and then it goes up the week after that.
there. Oh, so it goes up soon.
Yeah, the end of July.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm
Okay.
like, Shark Week's the summer.
Not next week, but the week after.
It's the end of July, early August.
Okay,
So
so you'll
it's in
miss
2
Comic-Con, which is good.
Yes,
I
it's
think.
not during Comic Con. It
Okay.
is the week after Comic Con.
Great.
But I'm not going to Comic Con.
I will be going to Comic-Con.
Ooh.
I was so originally at E3, I was on the floor, and then this year they're like, okay, so you're not going to go on the floor this time. You're going to be working on the live set just to get you some experience. Initially, I was a little bit bummed out, but then I realized if I stay in the live set, I get to meet a ton of celebrities.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be great. Like, yeah,
it's
I'm going
awesome.
to meet so many people.
I know.
Yeah, I'm going to meet like all the CW people. I'm going to meet, anybody. Anybody who's coming out with stuff.
If you meet any of the Chris's or Paul Rudd, please say hi for us.
The Russo brothers are coming.
Are they really?
Yeah, they'll be there. So
Oh,
they're
man.
gonna promote the Avengers Endgame DVD. Is why they're there
Ah.
for it. So
If you
no real Avengers are there,
Oh, okay.
unfortunately.
If
That's
you
okay.
do end up on the floor at any point, if you there's a She-Ra doll for Comic-Con
Yeah,
for
you
the
want
new
it?
show. If you see it,
Uh-huh.
I will give you money for it.
I will get 2 of them because I watched that show.
It's gonna be. Here's the thing. It's special edition, so like odds are you're not gonna get it because just everyone's wants
okay,
it.
I'm gonna be there
But-
Wednesday, and
but-
because I'm gonna pick up some
Okay,
stuff from
well
Hasbro.
if you're there, if you find the She-Ra
Okay.
doll, please.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yes.
like-
For the honor of Grayskull, I shall do this for you.
Thank you. Cool.
It's
Cool.
like-
I'm gonna change the camera.
One of
I
my
don't think
favorite
it would be
shows.
more
It's
than
so
like
good.
I think at top. I think
$150?
most expensive. No, not even. I think it'd be like $70.
Oh yeah.
At like the most expensive. This is the reason why this is important. Like I want it, but it's also like me going like it's up to the universe for it to happen. Is because the first doll I had when I was a kid was the '80s She-Ra doll.
Really?
Yeah, and it was on like all my like my mom would put it like on my birthday cake, like it would be like the topper, and I had the unicorn too, and my mom still has it. Then when they redid He-Man in like the late early or like mid 2000s, they did a He-Man reboot, and they had all the toys for
Yeah.
it. Obviously, and then they didn't do She-Ra because that wasn't part of that series. However, they did a special edition Comic-Con She-Ra version that matched up with that line. And I got that somehow. And then here's the thing. Again, weird coincidence. I just asked people who were going like, hey, you're going. If you see it,
Buy it.
buy it. I will pay you money. Cool. And it worked out. So I have that
Okay.
Comic-Con edition of She-Ra doll. It's in my mom's apartment in the closet. I know where it is. But it exists. I have it. So part of me is just like, oh my God,
You
again,
need
there's
the new one.
another
Yes.
Comic-Con edition of She-Ra. And this time I know and love this show.
Yeah, it's
I
so
kind
good.
of
Yeah,
want it, but I also don't want to like force it because then I'm gonna be like, if I don't get it, I'll be disappointed. But it's
Yes.
also like it feels like that's
how life is,
How it
huh?
kind of always happens. Where it's
Yeah.
like, if you can get it, cool. If not, like it's fine. But
It's I came into She-Ra not really watching He-Man. Like
Yeah, me
I
neither.
know nothing about
I knew
truly about
nothing about
He-Man,
it.
and She-Ra is my like way in. So she's like my
Shira's
first and only.
Here's the thing: even when in the originals, like I would vaguely watched He-Man just because I loved She-Ra.
Yeah.
The thing, his villain Skeletor is a joke. Skeletor, I mean, he's fun. It's fun to watch, but Skeletor is not a threat because in He-Man's world, there is no rebellion. He's like it's a kingdom. It's Skeletor who's trying to fuck shit up, but he's like a bad guy that's like, eh. In She-Ra's world, even in the 80s, it was like, no, the Horde took over that planet, and She-Ra was part of that rebellion, and that was the show. So it was just like she was like a freedom fighter in that thing. So it was like, and her bad guys were fucking scary. So it was like, and so like,
did they have that close relationship like they do in the show?
No, the new reboot, it's done by Noelle Stevenson, and she is so good. She's such a good artist, and she's so like. She like really made it more
so
like
good.
She gave it a real story.
She wrote and illustrated Nimona?
Yes. That was her webcomic.
Go read Nimona. Go find it and buy it. Yeah. Pay money for it.
She also did Lumberjanes.
It's so good. Oh, Nimona's like one of my favorites. I could rant about Nimona for forever. It's very, very
Nimona's about a shapeshifter. She becomes friends with like a villain. And she wants to be a sidekick, and she's a shapeshifter, and then like she ends up being like, shh. Okay.
I like that she has this theme of like finding closeness with a villain or being able to relate with a villain.
Yeah.
Like that adds so much more tension.
I love Catra so much.
Yes, Catra.
Yeah.
Catra's
such
so
a good
There was
good.
this one episode where like they kind of get trapped into that like what's it called, prison, and they live out these moments when they're little kids.
Yes, and you get the backstory.
Yeah, and it's at a point where she can tip either way. And as a viewer, I'm like, okay, she's gonna tip for the better, and this will drag on some more and more, and then she like buckles down and like puts her heels to the ground and like fuck She-Ra, like just kind of really rebels against it. And you really get to see her grow as a villain, and it's like, damn, it's so sad.
Yeah, it's sad, and it's great.
And Scorpia is so fun. I love her.
Yes,
with the claws.
Yeah.
All of them. So I'm like,
all of them.
The voice and
great.
the voice acting, because she's the girl from Orange is the New Black. She's really good.
Yeah. It's so good, you guys.
The game that we're playing with Michael. Because Michael and I hung out now.
Real weird.
Everyone's
he's like, oh yeah, Spencer's doing this. Was just I'm like, you hang out with Spencer more than I do.
Yeah, it's funny.
He's just like, are you jealous? I was like, yes. But also tell me what's going on.
Yeah, the game that we're playing with Michael, we're doing a 3-shot with the group because we played it. We were gonna do a 1-shot, and then it. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is a system that I'm working on that is designed to replicate She-Ra.
Very cool.
So we should play that sometime.
Yes.
We should.
Because we're all She-Ra fans.
Question.
Yeah.
Is it weird that how accurate you are with Michael writing
Him and
for
I
Thomas?
had this conversation.
Isn't that weird?
So if you read Ruby.
You should read Ruby.
You should, first of all, if you're
we
not
can
reading
talk
Ruby.
about our Ruby news too.
Oh yeah, if you're not reading Ruby, go read Ruby. But shameless plug. But I write a character named Thomas Normal for that comic, and it's heavily based on a friend of Star's named Michael Thomas Grant, who is a terribly talented human being.
Right. He's going to be on an NBC show soon.
I don't understand. He's just so good at everything. Truly, like we met in a movie theater, not knowing that we knew each other.
Yeah, you guys randomly met in a line.
We randomly met.
I did remember this story in the theater,
a movie
right?
Theater. Just sitting in a movie theater, he turned around, we started talking, and then we were like, we know each other. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm good at describing my friends to each other. I'm like, oh, this is my
I feel like we talked about it in the podcast, so true listeners will remember that.
Anyway, that's the one time I met him, and then since then we've gotten together and played games, and I wrote him without knowing him, and I wrote him like almost to a T of how he actually is.
Here's the thing: you only need to meet him once, and then you kind of.
But I didn't know him. I had not met him when I started writing Thomas at all.
I just explained him to you. I was just like, this is Michael. This is how he acts. This is like.
But he's like
what he is.
So.
He's to the T.
He is that character, and I didn't know how much because I usually like to combine people with other people to not make them the same. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna take what you said, and I'm just gonna like make a thing that's sort of like that. No, I made Michael, and it's.
Does Michael want to be on the podcast?
He
should bring him on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, he's leaving. He's leaving to actually shoot the show he's on at the end, like sometime in August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he in all the best ways possible, he is just like Thomas, and it makes me so happy because I was sitting across from him. I was like, it's really weird because I've been writing you.
Yeah.
These mannerisms are exactly. I was just like, yeah. That's why, like,
So weird.
you notice how I never really give you notes on Thomas.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's right. That's exactly how that would work.
He's fucking amazing, and I love hanging out with him. So
and the reason, might as well talk about the Ruby news.
yeah,
Michael helped us out when he got his pilot was picked up by NBC. I forget the name of the main character because it's so and so's Extraordinary Playlist is the name of the show.
Is it? No, that's Nick and Nora's, I think.
Yeah, it's the main character's Extraordinary Playlist coming to NBC. His pilot got picked up, and he contacted me like some random evening, and he was just like, "You're coming out." Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Yeah, he's like, "You're coming out tonight." I'm like, "Dude, I'm real tired." And he's just like, "It's an Aladdin moment. You gotta trust me." I was like, "All right, cool. What am I doing? Dressing up fancy?" He's just like, "Dress nice." I was like, "Okay." So I go out, and it's his like celebratory party because his pilot got picked up, which was really cool. And a bunch of friends and stuff, but he also invited his manager because his manager got him on the show. So of course,
as you do,
and like as we're all like sitting and chatting and eating and everything, Michael tells his manager about Ruby, and I was just like, oh, and like the manager being a professional like Hollywood person, immediately looks it up. And was just like, oh, all right, cool. And like kind of, and I like left I was talking to somebody else for like 5 minutes, and I come back to it, and he's just like, this is really good. Have you considered maybe like selling it? And I was just like, I happen to have a pitch presentation
because we made one.
We made one because that's what we do. And he's like, really? I was like, yeah, I'll send that to you right now. And I airdropped it to him. And he was just like, this is amazing. He's like, I will contact you in a couple days. I'm going on some random trip for some other show. I was like, all right, cool. Not really thinking anything of it because
Hollywood.
Whatever. And then, yeah, two days later, he's just like, hey, so like, this is great.
We're setting up a meeting.
We want to set up a meeting. And I was just like, you got to include Spenser because Spenser's a big part of this. They're like, yeah, sure. And I was like, cool. Holy shit. And then that's what happened. Then we ended up having a meeting.
Yeah, so we had a meeting with Atlas Entertainment, which is the production company that made Wonder Woman and Triple Frontier and Suicide Squad. And what was the other one?
Wait, like the live action?
Yeah.
Okay.
The movies.
The movies.
The movies.
The movies.
Okay.
Wonder Woman, the movie.
So you met with them?
So we met with them, and we had a whole meeting about Ruby, and
it was weird.
It was weird. They liked it.
The meeting was just very like. So tell us about Ruby. What's
we didn't really have to like pitch it so much as just like talk about it.
Yeah, they were like already into it. They just wanted more explanations of the world. They're like, how does this world work? What are the rules? And I was just like, I can answer these questions.
Yeah, these are easy. These are easy questions to answer. These are like the questions that we.
This is a breeze.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's not like I have to sell it to you because you've already read it. And so then we had that meeting, and then they decided to do a shopping agreement for it.
What?
So yeah.
Wait, what does that mean?
That means that they're going to take it out and try and sell it.
It's like a pre-option, so there's no money yet.
There's no money yet, but they're taking it out to try and sell to they're like taking it out to like Netflix and like Hulu and like all those different places.
Yeah, they're trying to get it bought, and then if someone else is interested,
on it,
then we sign something else, and then we get.
But they're basically like.
Are there any like soft costs that they're like hey? This type of series would cost this much money if you pick it up, or is that the type of thing that they're doing?
I think that's what probably.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
I'm sure, like, are they pitching it so that like this is how
they want to do it as live action?
They want to do a live action.
What?
Show.
Yeah, that was the thing because we went in thinking like it's going to be animated.
But they were like we talked about it being animated and having
but they were like we specialize more in live action. Like we would be able to sell it as live action.
That's crazy. I mean, like I'm trying to think of like. To do it live action would be more work.
That's what I thought.
But also, I think it would have a wider audience.
No, of course.
And, like,
I'm just saying, like this is like a new
new
property that's like they're throwing all this weight to it.
Well, they were saying that. Yeah, they were saying that whether it's for good or bad, Sabrina did really well.
Well, yeah, I mean Sabrina basically opened up all of the witches to come out now.
Right
now they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and luckily, I based it. in LA, so it's just like you could just shoot around town.
And
like
everybody loves seeing LA on TV.
Yeah. And so we don't know where it's gonna go, how it's gonna happen. It could.
Do they keep you updated on this stuff?
Yeah.
or?
So we'll know. They're gonna go shop it around for the next
I
year.
figured like we'll probably contact them in like another week or so.
Yeah,
just, like, as a monthly
as
update,
just like a
hey,
touch base thing. But yeah, they have it for a year, so they're gonna shop it around for a year, and we'll see where it goes. Atlas Entertainment. So
which was cool. Thank you, Michael.
All right.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where nothing could happen, or it could be everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
sort of
it's where I'm at with it. I'm like, it's fine.
If it's getting pitched, people are seeing it, and then maybe
and no matter what,
no matter what, your name is still getting out there.
Yeah,
That's
and we're
the
still
thing.
working on it. So
Yeah.
like even as it progresses, there's still going to be more content for them to draw from.
Right.
Yeah.
At some point anyway.
And if nothing happens, we still are doing the comic, so
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah, it's fine.
really affect us.
But
And we
it's-
would still be doing the
it's
comic
already
even if
like-
they got a live action.
It's
Yeah.
already like an achievement that there are people who are like, we think this could make money.
Yeah.
And it's from people who constantly make money from that. So they're
make
like,
money.
so that's already like a kind of like a little bit of a, what's the word, acknowledgement in
Yeah.
that sense. Of
Yeah.
like,
It's
hey,
just-
this is a good idea.
I'm
And
just
like,
happy to
thanks.
be here.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just happy to be in the room.
God, we have so much news dropping on this podcast.
I know.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's been a cool 2 months.
Gosh, that's
You
awesome.
having a baby?
I'm
Is
not.
that-
No.
Wait,
I'm
what?
Not having,
Oh, I was
no.
like,
thought we
why
were gonna
did we
drop that
lead
news.
with that? Oh my god.
Nope.
I thought I'd just drop it and see what happened.
Nope. That's not happening.
Maybe
Nope.
you'd slip and be like, yeah, oh, shoot, no, I shouldn't have told you.
Um,
No, not having a baby. Should we do our questions?
Yes. Let's
Yes.
do some questions. I think we should
We're already
do
in an hour.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, we haven't been back in a bit. It's
No,
okay,
it's
but-
fine.
I
It's totally fine.
imagined it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's try to do as many as we can.
Let's-
I didn't realize we were gonna get so many questions. It's
I know. There are lots of
really
questions.
awesome.
Okay. Let's do as many as we can.
Like a speed round, yeah.
So Sandra says, "What is the best grown-up purchase you've made?" Mine is a clothing steamer with the raised hands emoji.
I have two things for this. One is
I'm gonna like them as we talk about them.
Okay.
Very good.
One is I bought a bidet for my toilet.
Oh, nice.
It's amazing. It's $30 on Amazon.
Dude,
It'll change
the
your
thing
life.
about Amazon is so cheap. You can be an adult on Amazon.
Yeah,
Yes.
one of the best purchases ever because it's just like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Cool. And second is I bought when I bought my Dyson vacuum cleaner.
Okay,
Nice.
I'm in the
It's-
market for vacuum cleaner.
Dyson vacuum. Mind you, I have it was like a special edition at Target because it wasn't their big one, but it wasn't a little one. It was like a medium one.
Yeah, that's
And for my apartment, and it was like the animal
Well,
one,
all
so
I
it
have
was
is
like
a-
specialized
yeah.
for like cat hair.
what I'm looking for.
And so it was like they have an animal branded one, but like at the time I was like, I need this to be cheaper.
Can you take a picture of your barcode or something, or like
Yeah,
the model
I don't
number?
think here's the thing. It was like a special Target version, but they still make it. They just don't call it animal. They call it something else,
That's
but
fine.
it's like the same thing. But Dyson, like it's just. What's great about that too is that there's only 2 locations in the United States that has a Dyson store.
Okay.
Where you could take it for like repairs because that warranty is a lifetime warranty.
Please tell me it's in LA.
It's in LA.
Oh,
in fucking
baby.
North
Hell
Hollywood.
yeah.
Really?
Yes.
No way.
Dude.
It's in North Hollywood.
We're in the hot spot. We got Scoops Ahoy just down the road. We got
It's so
fucking
good.
Dyson.
Dyson
because
down
like
the road.
I've had it where like I've like vacuumed up like it was actually a crouton, but I vacuumed up a crouton.
It was a crouton.
and it like got stuck in the tube, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I don't know how to fix this because it was like
Ooh.
in there, and I didn't know how to take this apart, and I just took it to the Dyson thing, and they're like, oh yeah, this happens all the time. They just took it in the back, took it out, and I was just like, this is great. I love that this is right here, and they
That's
could do it
awesome.
for free.
I have a
because
follow-up
it's there.
question for this. Is it bagless or is it bagged?
It's bagless. It's a little cup thing. You like press the button, and then
Second
you like press
question.
the button and you shake it out.
I'm weary about bagless because of 2 things. One, emptying it because I have cats, and so all the hair flies everywhere.
It kind of sticks together.
And then filters. Do you change
I-
filters? Do you clean filters?
I clean the filter. Obviously,
Uh-huh.
you're supposed to do it every month. I kind of do it when I remember, which is usually
so
twice
you
a
don't
year.
buy new filters. You just have to clean it.
You just have to clean it, and it's just cleaning is literally rinsing it underneath a sink
Okay.
and then letting it air dry. And
'Cause-
there's 2 filters, so like, and you can buy replacement filters if you really wanted
Yeah.
to, but it's really not hard. You just literally rinse it and let it air dry in the sun, and you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get in the bagged market because I just want to drop and go. I don't want to change filters.
The
I'm
hardest
afraid of the
thing-
hair going everywhere when I clean
Yeah,
it.
you're fine.
Okay.
It's not like the way it drops down because it's like a bucket and you press a
Uh-huh.
button and it releases on the bottom. So if you have a trash can, just stick it in the trash can when
that's
you release
smart.
it and then shake it and then just kind of like cover it
Okay.
and you.
Pro Dyson tips.
Dyson.
Dude, this is
But-
I'm all about this.
Yeah,
I spent
yeah,
like
it's-
2 hours looking up vacuum blogs trying to figure out the right one, and I can't
just
find
that
one.
It's just great because, especially
What have we
because that
come
place
to?
is down the street. So if anything happens to it, you could go
Yeah,
and like it's fine.
Mine is a Ring doorbell.
dude,
Ooh.
that's a great purchase. That's awesome.
That's nice.
That's
nice.
great, man.
It's a great little thing because being in North Hollywood with a house, it's very
Yes.
different from being in Los Feliz with an apartment in a building.
You're
Yeah.
exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't probably have it as much because you're pretty off the.
But I tell you what, somebody did come to my backyard. I was in the backyard and I was rigging some stuff up, and some lady just walked into my backyard and she's like, "Hello," and I was like, "Hi, what are you looking for?" She's like, "I'm looking for the laundry room." I was like, "The laundry room?" It's like, "Well, there's a bunch of outside like machines like for the other apartment right there," and then she was like, "Oh, never mind," and then left. And I was like, "This is fucking shady as hell."
She
Yeah.
was probably-
Especially-
there's a lot of people who like go through dumpsters looking for plastic, or they'll go through your recycling bins because
Yeah.
they'll take your recyclables to go get money for
Well,
it.
what
So
that
there's a lot of that happens.
well that inspired me to do, and I'm praising the Ring, is because I bought these little cameras called Wise.
Oh yeah.
WYZE, and I put one in the backyard. I put one in my front because I couldn't afford a Ring yet, but I want to get one.
Yeah. I bought the $99 one.
Really?
Yeah, it's the first gen one, and it's been so
Luis is
worth
just
it.
like, ooh, shopping list
Dude,
for adult shit.
I will say this: when I got my new job, I did go crazy on Amazon. I was like Christmas for me. I bought so much shit. Okay.
It was a great investment, and basically the cool thing about the Ring
Okay,
is that it's the $99 one is the first gen, but it still works.
Okay. Yeah.
It's that one. It still works, and so we have it on our gate, and so whenever anybody enters or leaves the front yard, or is standing at the gate, we know that they're there, and it shoots out to the driveway and out to the street
Oh.
where my car is. So it's like we also see our cars,
great.
which is really cool. And also our friends can come up and ring the doorbell when they get there.
Yeah.
And then we know that they're there because
Yeah.
we're in like a back house thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Have you
yeah.
connected it
with
with your
fence.
Alexa Dots?
Yes. So
Dude.
so the cool
That's
thing is that when they ring
awesome.
it, there's a doorbell that happens, and then it goes, "There's somebody at your door."
Dude, this one is $60, but it's refurbished.
Yeah, I just
You
I
get
just
new,
get it.
just
I
get
just get a new
new.
one.
Son of a
It's worth
bitch.
it. But if you have a dot, you don't need the chime, which is an extra like $30 because
Uh-huh.
Alexa is the chime. So it just connects straight to the Alexa, and then I have a thing. So yeah, so it'll tell me like there's somebody at your door, and then you can go. You can say Alexa, answer the door, answer the front door, and then it'll patch you in. So you can be like, hey, I'm just finishing up cleaning this up. I'm gonna be out in just a second.
How did you install it to the? Did you have to screw it in, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's on the fence.
It's on the fence.
So I just screwed it in the fence.
Okay.
That's so cool.
But yes, you can like
Dude,
literally
I'm ready
answer your
for a
door
smart
and be like,
home. I'm ready for
hey,
it.
give me 2 seconds. I just need to like grab my keys or whatever, and I'll be right
I've
out.
recently started talking to Alexa like more like a person, because I activated something by accident. I think it overheard me. Like, you know how Alexa, every once in a while you trigger it by accident.
Yeah.
But whatever I triggered, it started a conversation with me. It was just like, how are you? How are you doing? Like a whole like I was just like,
Oh, weird.
I don't know what's happening, but we're chatting, we're talking. I'm gonna be real nice. This is cool. And it turns out it was like there was like an experimental app thing called Let's Chat. So if you ask Alexa to Let's Chat, she'll just have a conversation with you as much
Wow.
as she can. So the mix of that, and then finding out that Amazon has like people in like the Ukraine that just randomly listen to like conversations to like figure out how people are using Alexa. So knowing that there's just possibly
listening?
actually people listening to everything, that I'm just kind of like, I'm just be real nice, because you know what, like
Sometimes you just put a little good,
Oh,
in the world.
I'll tell when I leave. I say, Alexa, I hope you have a good day, and
So-
like just so that like if there's someone listening on the end, hopefully they'll hear like, oh, this person hopes I have a good day.
So what's interesting about that too is that Alexa now has it's becoming the Alexa podcast. Alexa now has a guard mode, so you can say, Alexa, I'm leaving, and she'll say, okay. And then she'll set it into guard mode, and if there's like the sound of glass breaking or like a fire alarm going off or carbon monoxide alarm going off, she'll send an alert to your phone.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta add that.
What?
I gotta
So
do
you
That's
just have to
amazing.
you just have to tell her that you're leaving, and then when you get back, you go, Alexa, I'm home, and she said, she's
Oh,
like,
I do
"Welcome
that
home." I'm
anyway.
like,
I have
yeah,
it set for when I'm
but
home.
it'll change it off
turn-
of guard mode.
She turns on all my lights. She'll
Is it when you walk in your home, the lights turn on?
when I
like it
walk
geolocates?
home. No. When I come home, I just tell her I'm home.
Uh-huh.
She turns on all my lights, and then she'll give me a compliment, and then she'll tell me an interesting fact.
There's a system where Alexa will know you're walking into your apartment.
Yeah,
and it will just automatically turn on like it does in the Black
It
Mirror
turns on the
episodes.
dining room lights and says, "Welcome home, Spencer." When I come in,
Dude,
It's
I'm
really cool.
all about the smart home life.
But the last thing that I did with the Ring that was really cool is that I set it so that in between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m., if there's motion outside that it detects because it has a night vision camera, it will turn my light on blue and then be like, "It seems there's somebody outside. You might want to go check."
Now my question is, how do you deter against bugs?
It doesn't.
It knows.
It doesn't do it.
My Wise camera, every time it sees a bug outside, it's
the tree is a little bit problematic. It
'cause
does
the wind.
because the wind. But you can finagle the settings. In fact, let me see if I can pull it
so
up.
you can do just faces that you. Like,
not
or
just
no?
faces,
Like
but
do-
you can
like
do
the sensitivity.
areas. Yes. So like if I go to oh no, it has to be. Is it this? I think it's this.
Dude, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
this is-
camera.
I have
no,
I have a Wise cam because I'm monitoring how my cats are drinking water because I think some of them aren't drinking water.
Oh, interesting.
So I put it right by the water bowl and I know who's doing what every time now.
Yeah. So you can go into. So like I can see my front door right now.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And then I can go into the front door thing and
It'd be
do
really crazy
motion
if,
settings.
Like an alien walked by
Yeah,
your
it'd be
front
super
door
cool.
and I'd be like, "Oh, signs."
And then I can do motion zones, and it says, "Does your door face a street?" And I hit yes, and then it says you can adjust for where you want it to.
This is my litter box.
Ooh.
Ooh, so you get to watch your cats go to the bathroom.
Yeah, because if someone's pooping outside the box or if someone's having issues, I know exactly what's happening.
Does it have a speaker on it? Can you yell at them?
Dude,
Like,
yes.
Hey, stop!
I was gone for 4th of July weekend, and one of my cats is on a counter. He's not allowed to be on. And so I was like, Chewy, get down. And all the cats turned to the camera. He did not get down. And I was like, I'm going to get you.
I'm gonna fuck you up when I get home.
Yeah, they kept looking at me. And also, I was able to see the earthquake through the
through the
thing.
camera.
So like because the earthquake happened, and I was like, oh my god, what happened when I was gone? And yeah, I mean, it didn't look like it was too bad from my end. Yeah, like they could start noticing it. It was happening. Here, hold on.
So we're watching the video right now. Time's going by. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a cat.
Yeah. I wish the sound was working.
There it is. It's kind of working now. What's rocking back and
I
forth?
don't know.
You know?
And, like, see how he's looking around.
Yeah.
And seeing it, and so we're like, oh shit, I hope everything's okay. But we were able to know everything was
Yeah.
okay because of the camera. So
That's
it was like,
awesome.
really cool. Yeah. And this thing's super cheap. It's $25
Wow.
for this thing, and you can get these little sensors. So if you like are worried about someone opening a door, closing a door, you add these little sensors to it.
What's that called? I can't afford a Nest right now, but
Wise.
Wise. Okay.
Wise. And yeah, you can. I got a little SD card for it, micro SD, and you can see my outside. So now if somebody, that's my front door, because I didn't get a ring,
Yeah.
so I just had this at my front door, so I know who's coming in.
Yeah.
And then my backyard is also somewhere on. But yeah, it's like $25
That's
for this
awesome.
Wise, and you can get sensors for like if you want to monitor someone opening the door or whatever.
Yeah. That's huge.
So yeah,
That's
it's
really great.
crazy.
But that's definitely my most grown-up purchase. That sounds like that's.
It was a great. Yeah, I bought an iron. I bought a camera, and then I bought this. A fun purchase was I got this Bluetooth setup in my car finally, where it's like you can plug your phone in, and then it does like an FM transmitter situation.
Yeah.
So those suck because there's so much.
Yeah, the quality is not great.
But there's this thing that they sell, and I think it's like $20 as well. It's a USB, and it's what's it called, an 1/8 inch. So I plug it into my car, the USB and the 1/8 inch, and it's a Bluetooth receiver.
Oh.
And so
interesting.
basically, it's feeding into my car as if it's like I plugged it in through like an 1/8 inch plug.
Yeah.
But it's receiving it with the Bluetooth. So now I'm cordless, like
That's
you.
awesome. Yeah, like
and,
me.
Yeah, and that's what I always wanted because my car didn't come with Bluetooth
Yeah.
capabilities, but it had a port for.
I didn't know you could get
a
that.
headphone jack.
What?
And so now, if you have a headphone jack in your car, you can become Bluetooth too. Like it's
That's
totally
fantastic.
possible.
That's
So
amazing.
now when I enter into my car, I put this thing in. It's like the little metal things hiding behind here. I put it in, automatically snaps in, and say I have my AirPods on.
Yeah.
I'm walking in my car with my AirPods. I put it in my car. I turn my car on. It switches from my AirPods to the car.
So it does with the
And
headphones
it's like
too. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Fucking awesome. And I
Yeah.
just feel like, yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. Okay.
Fix the camera.
You fix the camera. Eddie Chase asks, "What is a popular franchise you're curious about but are afraid to dive into for whatever reason?"
My Hero Academia.
Battlestar Galactica.
Star Trek.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We answered that real quick.
Answer that real quick. I just feel overwhelmed by the amount. I've watched all the new Star Treks. I just haven't watched any of the old stuff, and I feel overwhelmed.
I watched My Hero. It's really good.
It's really good?
You would really like it.
Okay, cool. I'm afraid the episode counts when the episode counts huge. Like everybody's listed.
You could watch
seasons
it,
with large episode
and the
counts.
English dub. If you're like you want to watch it in English, it's pretty good.
Okay.
They did a really good job. The main guy though in English, he sounds a lot like Morty from Rick and Morty. Like it's not exact, but it's close enough when he's like really emotional that I was like every time.
Rick.
He's just like he does sound like that, and you're like that's weird, but it like works. It like makes sense for the character, so it's just like all right, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Victor Abella says, "What was the best thing you consumed while you're on hiatus?" And yes, this means both food and content. So food or content that you consumed that were the best.
Give me a second.
I have one. So the new place that we moved into has, like we said, an outside. It also has a barbecue. So we started barbecuing all of our food.
Nice.
Oh
That's
my
amazing.
god, it's so good.
Yeah.
Everything is so much better barbecued. We made street corn.
Ooh, nice.
Mexican
Yeah,
street
that's
corn.
great.
And then even just like hot dogs for 4th of July taste so much better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you
cook
marinate them. Okay, here's the thing. Hot
Marinate
dogs.
hot dogs?
Yeah, so here's how you make hot dogs really good. Ready? Okay, so you get beef Angus hot dogs.
Okay.
Then you pull the hot dogs out and you slice them vertically at an angle, like a 45-degree angle, so it looks like there's
Guys,
little
we are
flaps.
adulting as hell.
We are. 45-degree flaps all along the top of the hot dog, right?
Okay.
So it's like almost like scales, like dragon scales. Fucking cool. And then you put them into either like some Tupperware or like plastic bags, and you put like a marinade. So it could be barbecue sauce. It could be we did I think ketchup, Worcestershire, garlic,
Nice.
and something else, oil or something. Anyway, you marinate it in whatever kind of marinade you want for like between 20 minutes and like 5 hours, depending on how much time you have.
Yeah.
And then when you pull them out and grill them, they're 10 times better because they've like soaked in this deliciousness. And then also, so two things. One, the slits in the hot dog allow the marinade to get inside instead of just being stuck on the outside of the skin,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
But two, the inside of the hot dog, when it's allowed to touch the grill, has more fat content than the outside does, and so it
you're
actually
releasing some
you're
of the
releasing
fat.
some fat, and
Yeah.
it tastes better because it's cooking in fat.
Oh.
So anyway, little pro tip. But we've been cooking a lot more on the grill.
Yeah, I've been
Sounds
cooking
good.
salmon and scallops.
Ooh.
And we bought a cast iron and some
Oh,
new...
no.
I was like, adult time, I have Amazon. I'm going to buy a fucking cast iron. It was like $25.
Yeah, they're
cheap.
telling
They're not-
you.
I
And
have.
then we started
I
getting
have a
garlic.
cast iron. I barely use it because I'm just like, this is really intimidating.
Yeah.
Well, because it required for the salmon to be cooked like a little bit on top of the stove.
need to put it in the
And then
oven.
put it in the oven. And we didn't have one, and so I got one 2 days. And then we add a little garlic. Gotta add that garlic.
Yeah, gotta
And
add the
man,
garlic.
It is
Fresh
so
garlic.
It's
Yeah, I
great.
went to the store and I was like, yes, I'd like one salmon, and like they cut it for me like at the fucking seafood place. And it's not like prepackaged. Like it's just like we went to Whole Foods
I'm
and got
trying
it.
to think of what I've eaten recently.
I feel like I've watched something
What-
too that's
what do
really
you-
good.
what have
I
you
just
watched
can't
that's
think
really
of
good?
anything.
What have I watched that's really good? Why am I blanking?
I know. I feel like I watched something on Netflix that was like really good. Besides Stranger Things.
Wait.
Which is good.
Shit. What did I just recently watch? I mean, I've been watching this anime, but it's like, and it's good, but it's not like my like.
It's not like good.
No.
I wish you could see like your history on Netflix. Like, what did I watch? And then it can give you your history, but they don't have that. That's
Hold
a
on,
bummer.
I'm trying to see. Shit, that's gonna bug me because I'm like, there was something that like, I really, really.
You can't. It's watch it again, isn't it? So you see it. You're watching.
Watch it again. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So you
Man,
have to-
that watch it again. It's always like it's never in the same place.
Oh, did you guys see the new Mulan trailer?
Yes.
yes.
I
I'm in
am
it.
actually interested.
I'm
I'm
in it.
down.
I'm down.
It looks so cool.
I'm down. It looks like they actually tried something
Yeah, it looks like they
instead
tried.
of like, man.
Okay,
I did not see Aladdin.
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
We'll come back
Good
to that
job,
if you find
everybody.
it. Good job, we did it. Podcast not approved.
Yeah.
Kona Goodhart says, "What are your favorite art styles / movements? Expressionism, Art Nouveau, Dada,
Oh,
pop
that
art."
stuff. I like pop art. I'm a big fan of pop art.
Yeah.
I'm really getting into vaporwave.
Yeah, going vaporwave.
Guys,
Okay.
I saw this cloud thing.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
so
I'm really into
vaporwave.
this.
Yeah,
This is very cool. I was like trying to get. I don't know. I'm really. It's like I'll put it up on the video. You'll see. I'll put a screenshot of it. But it's like this. Yeah, it's just really cool. I like the neon, bright, glowy colors. Like, yeah, I just really like.
So
it right
I have a
now.
couple things I really like, and they're different depending on what medium.
Yeah,
I guess is the right
that's
word.
fair.
But I really like film wise. I really like German Expressionism, which comes from the 30s, and it's what Tim Burton's old stuff was really based off of. If you're looking for something that's German Expressionism, classic German Expressionism, it's things like Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Which if you haven't watched, it's a weird fucking movie, but go watch it because Tim Burton basically just stole everything from that movie to make all of his movies, and they're better for it. So yeah, that's the film movement that I really enjoyed. And then I really like surrealism
Yeah.
in like books and movies.
I feel like I've watched
Like
something.
I really like
surreal
surrealist
recently,
stuff,
and
like
it was
being
so
John
good.
Malkovich, and
Why can't I remember what I saw?
Yeah, I'm blanking too. I like binged something recently. I just binged something. I don't remember what
was
I
it
binged.
something? Was it something that was?
Oh, I remember now. Okay, A Silent Voice. This is amazing.
On HBO?
No, it's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's an anime movie. It's gorgeously done. The premise,
The
it's
Silent Voice.
a silent voice.
A Silent Voice.
It's about teenagers. There is a kid who bullied a deaf girl in elementary school, and it's about the trauma that comes from not only being bullied but being the bully, like the
Interesting.
because they're kids, and like you see what
Yeah.
happens in that scenario, and it shows them in high school, like essentially the kids trying to make amends.
Yeah.
But it's like it starts off kind of dark because like I didn't kind of know what I was getting into. I just knew it was like, oh, it's about this kid trying to repent for being shitty to a deaf girl, and I was just like, oh, they're gonna deal with deafness in anime, and I want to see how that's animated. Cool, but like not spoilers. It opens up with like this kid, like he's about to jump off a bridge
Oh wow.
because he's like
Jeez.
miserable,
Yeah.
and then like he doesn't do it, and like it's kind of like right after the aftermath of that, and he's like trying to like make amends for like things he's done, and
Sure.
like just trying to like figure out life. And what's great, it doesn't come from a place of like, if I do this I'll be better. It's just straight up like,
I feel bad for what I've done, and I want to.
I just
try and do
want
better.
to. I don't expect to be forgiven because
Yeah.
because he was a shitty kid, and it's like, and seeing the effect, and it's beautifully animated. It's such
What's it called again?
a silent
A
voice.
Silent Voice.
The way they animate the sign language is amazing because like they really like it's done really well. I think it's like an hour and a half or 2 hours. It's like it's a movie.
Oh yeah, I've seen this around.
And it's just something I kind of never saw before.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it
And
now.
it's not it's about depression and anxiety and like being ostracized and what that does to you.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's really, really good. Yeah, I was like,
That's
I
great.
saw something recently that was like really moving.
Yeah, man, I feel like I've watched something surreal too, and I can't remember. The closest thing I can think of, and this is not it, but it's good, is Doom Patrol. Have you guys
Oh,
seen
Doom Patrol's so
I've
good.
heard it's good.
I haven't watched
seen
the
really
it.
show,
good.
but I've read the comic.
Oh, you should watch the show.
I know. I just don't have access to DC
Oh,
Universe.
I'll give you a Plex.
Okay.
I'll share my library with
okay,
you.
cool.
Yeah, no, I think because in piggybacking off what you're saying about depression and insecurity and all that, like it totally does that, and it uses supernatural abilities in a way to showcase the way that depression weighs on people.
Yeah.
And so they really it's really just a big therapy session for all of these characters, and that they have to get over it and face their fears and everything that's weighing them down to get through it at the other side.
Yeah.
And it's able to like show that visually in a surrealistic way, which is great
Is it
because
kind
it's
of
a
like
supernatural
Legion?
show. It is.
okay.
Yeah, if
Like
you
what?
like
Legion.
Legion.
Oh, okay.
But
Legion does
it's
that too.
It's a little bit more like tongue in cheek, a little bit more wacky, and
Yeah, I've heard
they
good
make
things
they
about
make
it.
bold choices. It's definitely, if you watch Titans and you were like, I didn't like Titans. Yeah, I didn't like it that much either. Doom Patrol is different. And it's got the composer Clint Mansell, who does like Requiem for a Dream, and he's like a serious composer. So he really sets the tone really well. I don't know if it's the same director throughout the whole thing. I forget. But yeah, it's really good at taking metaphors and just physically embodying them in an episode
on screen.
On screen, yeah.
That's great. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that kind of surrealism. Yeah. The Science of Sleep is
I
example.
love that movie.
It's really good.
Of like taking surrealism elements and introducing it. But yeah, any other art movements that you guys are big fans of? I like Cubanism too in design.
I like Baroque music.
Baroque music.
Yeah, I
is
like
good.
listening to Spotify. Baroque is really.
I like modern art too, because it's just usually just weird.
Yeah, it's just weird.
It's just weird, and I'm like, you know what?
Do you like minimalist modern art, or do you like
any of it? Like I visited my mom for Mother's Day, and I took her to there's a new the Perez Modern Art Museum in Miami. It's a brand new museum, and I was like, Mom, I'll take you there. And it was all weird shit, and she did not get any of it. And a part of me is just like, dang it, I didn't realize what kind. I just saw a new art museum. I was like, cool, but I really liked it. It was just a lot of like weird paintings that don't really seem to mean anything. Weird like art, like sound exhibits. You walk in and they're just playing random sounds, and I'm just. But
it affects you viscerally in some way.
A little
that's
bit,
what,
not always, but I'm always like, even if I don't get it, I'm like, I'm glad this exists. I'm glad this is here, and this is what this is being done.
Have I talked about the what was it called? It was a play that I went to. They Who Saw the Deep. Have I talked about that to you guys? So there's a play I went to called They Who Saw the Deep, and it's put on by an immersive theater company, and they do a bunch of really cool stuff. In fact, there was another one I went to that was the same company that was similar, but essentially like you walk into a space. The thing that inspired the last 5 years thing.
Yes.
You walk into a space and you can just follow anybody.
Oh,
around.
you did talk to me about yes. Sorry.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like Sleep No More.
I remember that.
And so that was a really like just having some sort of interactivity, whether it's like in this play, I could choose to follow one of the characters, and at one point I watched them have basically a mental breakdown. They started crying. They grabbed me by the hand, took me into a room, and just cried on my shoulder for like 5 minutes, and then kissed me on the head, and then left. This dude just like, and then I saw him at a Chipotle the other day.
And then you could like pick.
That was cool.
You could pick what your level of experience is, right? Yeah, I remember that.
So like and I was like, I was down to do whatever. Like I was down for them to grab me by the hand and take me into a room and yell at me if they wanted to. Like it's that kind of thing where you just open yourself up to like whatever the experience is. And there's another one I did that was really interesting. That was it was all done on the streets of Hollywood. So the way that it happened, it was a one-person show. Sorry, I should phrase that differently. It was a one-audience show. So you reserve your time, and you show up at a street corner, and somebody finds you, and they say, Spenser? And you go, yeah. And they say, come with me. And then they start talking with you. And they're just talking about, like, L.A. and, like, life and stuff. And they're playing these characters. And then they go, my friend will find you, and leaves you. And then somebody else comes up to you, and they go, I think I recognize you. I know you from somewhere. And you're like, are you somebody who actually recognizes me from somewhere, or is this part of the show?
Right.
And then they're like, hey, do you have a minute? Can you come with me? And you walk down the street with this person.
Wow.
And you lose, you know that it's a show, but at the same time, it's so natural and so like organic, because whatever's happening on the street, they're interacting with. So, like, there's people on bikes, and they're like, oh, watch out, I don't want you to get hit. And they'll, like, pull you over to the side and be like, it's crazy how they just, like, ride down the street and just don't. They ride on the sidewalks. They don't ride on the street. It's supposed to, it's LA for you. They don't have any bike lanes. And so
I
they're
don't
just
know
improving.
how I feel about it. I love it, and I hate it,
and you're like,
I love it. It's so good.
Is that bike staged so that they can do this bit? Or are they just making this up as they go and just... Because the whole like message and like all of it relates. Each of them has a theme about like what they're talking for what they're talking about. And then the craziest one was that somebody left me, and I was standing there, and it's starting to it's like sunset when I did it because I wanted to do it when it was like prime time.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, did the next person forget? And then I realized there's a homeless person staring at me.
Oh no.
And he gets up and starts talking to me. And he's like, "Do you have a minute? Come with me." It's like, fuck.
Damn.
What? You're part of you've been sitting here staring at me the whole time. You're part of the show. So, and then the last person was this woman who's played by a friend of mine, which was even cooler because it's like, oh, somebody I know,
Right.
you know, just standing on the street, and she doesn't speak. So she just holds her hand out, and you take her hand, and you walk down the street, and she'll point at things, and then she'll write in a notebook and hand you the notebook, and you read it, and then she'll take the notebook back, and you'll just walk down the street, and then we sat on the steps of a building for like 5 minutes together, and just like watched LA, and she'd like write things to you, and then pass it over, and you'd read it. It's like sometimes it's just nice to like spend quiet moments with people, and we just sit there for like 5 minutes together, and then you leave, and then it's done, and the whole experience is done. You're like, you can't have this any other place.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
That's so
anyway,
cool.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
it's really cool.
That also weirdly freaks me out, but that's
because
also
you're
so
the only
cool.
one there. It's a show for just you.
You get. I feel like there's
So cool.
Sometimes in that situation, you feel an immense pressure on yourself to act a certain way.
Yes!
But the thing is, you're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to speak the entire time.
Right, and you feel compelled. Like I'm sure I feel the same way. Is that you feel compelled to talk?
Yes.
And so
and they're asking questions. They're like, tell me, am I wrong here? Am I wrong about this? Like, I feel like I'm crazy and nobody's telling me I'm right.
I don't know how you.
Like.
I don't know how you would keep me from talking.
Yeah.
I would just be like, this is like even the moments of silence going back and forth. I'd be like, man, this is real cool. Like it's just like I'd be even if it's just talking to myself.
Yeah.
I would,
It was
is-
hard,
yeah,
but also like it's an experience and you have to respect the experience. And so when they tell you not to speak, like you're not allowed to speak, and if you speak, I'm sure they'll like stop you.
Yeah. Well, it's also a self-discovery moment where you're like, oh wow, I feel
I'm not used to not talking.
Exactly. I'm not used to not responding. I'm not used to just existing.
Yeah.
Without doing something.
yeah,
as a
I
form
think
of
I would love
response.
to experience this, but at the same time, like this feels really. Like,
Yeah.
It sounds
And-
anxiety-inducing.
And I'm trying to remember. I think the homeless person thought I was only in their head or something. They thought that it was like not real.
Oh no!
Which is even weirder.
Oh.
Anyway, they did another one in an Uber where an Uber would come pick you up and they do a whole show
Oh.
like around you with the other people in the
Yeah.
Uber, which is kind of cool.
Hey, this is New York. You know.
I'm walking here.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, dude, you're in an Uber. Anyway, let's hit some of the other.
Let's
some
hit
of the
another
ones.
Go back to this camera.
What's currently your top 3 favorite bands or artists?
As always, Jukebox the Ghost.
Yeah,
But Lizzo is real great.
Lizzo.
I just started getting it. Yeah.
Lizzo is fantastic, and I'm trying to think of a third. What did I just recently add to my Spotify playlist? Yeah, I've been going back and forth between Lizzo and where are you? Where's my main list?
It's weird because I really am only listening to like to film scores and like instrumental stuff lately.
Me too. I'm yelling now because I'm by the camera.
Oh, just repeat what you're saying.
I listen to
soundtracks as
Bad.
well.
This
I'll get
is-
there in a second.
I'll get there in a second.
Is
that real bad?
That was real bad.
I wanted it to be real bad.
I guess a little bit of like Billie Eilish, the new singer, but I only like 2 of her songs. But I've been listening to them a lot because they're really good 2 songs. Yeah. Those are my 3.
Okay, I got some.
I've been listening to I love listening to the Tiny Desk concerts from NPR.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
So I've been going back and listening through those, which is really fun. While you list your people, I'll find the ones I've listened to that have been really good.
I'll tell you what I've been doing. When I try to focus and work, I've really latched on to listening to music to get me to focus. It's a lot of instrumental stuff and stuff where I don't want to listen to, like, think about things. I'll listen to it. Surprisingly, Blake Neely, who does the soundtrack for The Flash and Arrow, is really good, actually. I listened to the Avengers soundtrack. They're all superheroes, okay? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
apologize.
Alan Silvestri, I can listen to that whole soundtrack all the way through, and I'm having a good time. Also, for Captain Marvel 2, the Pinar something. She's the first female composer. I think I really like superhero soundtracks because it gets me motivated and in the mood.
Yeah, it's all about like
dun,
let's
dun,
get you
dun,
hyped.
dun, 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 and then it'll have like some quiet melancholic moments like da 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 da. And so like that'll let my brain to relax. But then when I like need to finish these files, or I need to clean these dishes, I feel like I'm in an action movie. You're like, okay, ba 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 ba, and I feel in a zone.
Yeah.
And then if it's like actual singers, I like this artist called Meg Myers. I like an artist called Tosh Sultana, who's like a reggae, very chill, jazzy type of artist. And who else? I think that's it. Sometimes I listen to a band called Porches, which is like a like synthy 80s atmospheric type of thing. So I'm always like into guitar playing, jazz playing, and just like mood vibes.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm listening to.
If I'm not naming film score stuff, which I won't, because I just put it on shuffle and just go. Hobo Johnson. You guys heard Hobo Johnson?
Hobo Johnson, no.
Yeah, he's from my hometown, and he was on NPR just recently, or within the last like year.
Oh.
Anyway, he does like it's between like spoken word and kind of hit rap, but not really. It's
like poetry.
Yeah, but it's all to a beat and to like music. Anyway, he's really good. The other one I was listening to just recently was really good was Julian Baker. Julian Baker's very good. She's very sad, but she's very good. Dermot Kennedy and St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
Oh yeah.
That's a good
All of
name.
those are very good. And then there's one that is a smaller artist that I've been that a friend of mine was in a concert with. I think I'm just gonna pull up her name to make sure I get it right. Moira Mack, MoiraMack. Anyway, she's an LA artist, but she's fairly unknown, and she's very, very good. So that's somebody, if you're looking to follow, I think her Instagram's MS Moira Moira, and then Mac Mack, and she has like a bunch of her singing on there.
Oh,
and
cool.
And a friend of mine played a concert with her, and she was just like phenomenal. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's all of those. Let me pull up Twitter again.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. We're almost there.
Hell.
Yeah. Okay, we answered that one. I'm going to skip down because we're running out of time.
But we can go back to I say we go back to this thread.
Oh, yeah, totally.
finish it off.
What Hogwarts house are the Avengers in? This will be the last
I feel
one
like
we
that's
answer.
that's a long question.
Let's hit one Avenger per episode. Just talk about one. Which one do we want to talk about?
I mean, there's some that are just real easy.
Yeah, we can go
you
through the easy
Star.
ones.
I feel like Star, you're really good at this.
Yeah,
you're really good at putting
Captain America's clear Gryffindor.
Yes.
That's not a question. That's just
Which
immediate.
one's Slytherin?
That one's rough because Iron Man can either be I feel Iron Man is either a Ravenclaw or
a Slytherin.
Slytherin, and I lean towards Slytherin a little bit more. But like,
Is Thor Hufflepuff?
no,
What
Thor's
is
a
he?
Gryffindor.
He's a
jock. He's
Gryffindor.
straight up a jock.
Oh yeah, he jumps
Although
into action.
I could also put Tony in Gryffindor too because he is brave.
Yeah, but
He's
he also
very smart though. But he's very. It's like you have to kind of.
I feel like he's a
you have-
Ravenclaw.
You have to take their purest
Yeah.
instinct first, and you know what? Because of Endgame, I'll put Tony in Ravenclaw because of the hesitation before he went in, because he was like, "Nah, this is the smart play."
He's also
da-da-da-da.
like a lot of his actions are geared or like are directed by fear. It's fear based.
Yeah.
You're like a lot of his actions and a lot of his choices is because he's afraid and insecure of something happening and he has no control
But he
over
does
it.
have that like ambitiousness of a Slytherin.
He's ambitious, but I think he's ambitious because I think before he became Iron Man, he was more Slytherin.
Yeah,
But then once he became Iron Man and
but
realized
it has
like
to be your essence. It's hard.
is
I think it
Star-Lord
also could have
a
been a
Hufflepuff?
protection.
Star Lord,
I'm trying to find a Hufflepuff.
you're trying to find a Hufflepuff.
I feel like Star-Lord's a good contender. I feel like Rocket
Groot-
Raccoon's probably
Groot
a
is a Hufflepuff.
Slytherin.
Rocket's for sure Slytherin.
Rocket's a Slytherin. We found a Slytherin.
What about Mantis?
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff?
Okay.
I'm trying
Shuri
Black
is
Widow's
Sure, Ravenclaw.
Black
Ravenclaw.
Widow's Slytherin.
Black Widow's a
Loki's
Slytherin.
definitely a Slytherin.
Loki's a Slytherin.
I'm going through like the main ones.
Hulk.
Ravenclaw.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah. Hulk is a
Black
Gryffindor.
Widow is like a good Slytherin.
Bruce Banner is a Ravenclaw.
Yes. yes. Accurate.
God, after I saw that movie again, I'm always sad when Scarlett Johansson dies.
Yeah.
That seems
And
very
no
sad.
It's weird they killed the actress too. That was
Yeah, when when she died, I don't know. You know that new movie, The Black Widow? It's all CG. I'm telling you.
Hawkeye.
fake.
Hawkeye, I would actually put in
Ooh,
Slytherin.
Hawkeye might be a Slytherin.
I
That
think
makes
Hawkeye's
sense
in
because
Slytherin.
her and
But or is he not? Because ambition is the main thing of Slytherin, and he does not have ambition. He wants to spend time with his family.
Yeah,
That's later too, though.
Yeah, but I
They
feel
all
like
switch.
his
But
main.
he always
thing is,
had
like,
his family on his
he
side.
always
Maybe
wanted
he's
his
a
family.
Gryffindor.
He might be a
I think he's a
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
Spider-Man's a
You're right.
Gryffindor.
No, Spider-Man's a Ravenclaw.
He's smart.
You think he just doesn't jump into action and is courageous and does whatever
That's
it takes?
true.
That's true.
He
You know what it
leaps
is?
and he's like, "What's that? Danger?" Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah, that's true.
inspires me
But
just
here's
to
the thing.
make action.
That
Yeah.
if we go by origin, that happens only because his uncle passed away.
But I think that I think Luis makes a strong argument that he is always leaping indiscriminately into action.
That is true.
It doesn't whether that's from an event or not.
I will say, like,
I just thought
Griffin.
of something.
I'm not gonna hesitate to say Griffin. It's really hard with superheroes because like
Yeah,
they're all brave and they all
they'll
jump into
jump
action.
into action.
and most
So-
of them are ambitious.
So,
yeah.
and like so
Yeah.
you kind of have to go on like, is that their instinct because that's their instinct, or is like that's their first thing,
right.
or do they stop and think about it if they have the chance to think about it, kind of thing, you know? And like, so that's why I'm like, I lean with Peter Parker, maybe not Spider-Man, but Peter Parker. I feel is a Ravenclaw because he tinkers with things, he builds things, he built that suit, like
Yeah, it's true.
like he's a very smart kid.
But he didn't build this. I mean, I guess he kind of
He built his first
He built
versions
his own,
and he
yeah.
built his sprays and stuff, and then Tony found him, was just like, here, child,
Yeah.
take
Ooh,
take
small
this
child.
shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pepper
but
Doctor Strange is a Slytherin.
Doctor Strange is a Slytherin.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
He's
he's
a
absolutely.
good. He's more of a
Doctor
Slytherin than I
Strange.
think than
Yeah.
than
Doctor
Tony.
Strange is definitely a Slytherin. I'm
Yes.
trying to go through like everybody in Endgame. Like that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's like kind of thinking through. Paul Rudd, Ant-Man
Oh,
is.
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
That one's hard.
I feel like he's a Hufflepuff. I don't know enough.
Just because he's lovable and sweet, makes him seem like a Hufflepuff.
Uh-huh.
However, I mean, he was a thief originally.
Right. So,
But being bad is not.
yes.
It's not being bad.
Slytherin.
It's like why he was like, well, you know
He
what?
was trying to do it for his family.
He did. He got caught. It was like he was taking money from somebody. Like he was like, it was like he was bad, but for like a Robin Hoodie
Yeah.
kind of
Yes,
reason.
exactly. Yeah.
You know, which is like
Because
I
they took
think-
money away from the company that took money away from their employees, and so he stole it. Yeah.
right.
I feel like it's Hufflepuffy. Like I feel like his personality is a Hufflepuff, even
What-
if he was a thief.
What about Wong? Is Wong a Hufflepuff?
Juan's a Slytherin too.
Yeah.
Wong pieced the fuck out as
He
soon as
did.
it's like, nah,
I gotta take care of this place. The
Yeah,
sanctuary's
yeah.
got bye bye.
nah. There's other priorities.
Very obvious, but Thanos is a Slytherin.
Oh yeah.
Ambitious, trying to do what's
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
what he
What's-
thinks is right.
What's Luis? The
the
one
buddy?
of two Latin people in the entire
The
MCU.
buddy, he is.
Calling out Marvel.
That is, I know. I had a moment. I was like, where are the other Latin people? Like
I
Latin
feel like-
dudes.
Honestly, I could lean with him between being Gryffindor or Hufflepuff too. But Gryffindor because he's like, you tell him to do something,
Yeah.
he's like doing it.
That's true. Yeah.
Like he's like
He's
ready
a-
to go.
he's a
You
Gryffindor
need me?
puff.
All right, here we go.
I
Until
think
you
he's
see
a-
something kind
I-
of scary, and then he's just like, but he'll still stay.
yeah.
You know?
I think that actor's a Scientologist, which makes me
Oh,
kind
Really?
of sad.
no.
Oh,
really?
That's a
I
bummer.
think so.
The girl from Handmaid's Tale is also Scientologist.
Yeah, which is a weird-
bummer.
A lot of them join because they think it's going to help their careers, and
Yeah.
sometimes it does, and it's just kind of like,
Tom Cruise, let him go. Tom, I know you listen to me.
I started watching DuckTales because
it's
Let
so
him go.
good.
so good, and because we're doing a segment on it, so we're gonna have some of the people come.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so I started watching it so I can
Wait, are
get.
you going to meet David Tennant?
No, I'm not gonna meet David Tennant. He's
Okay.
so good in it. But Huey is a Ravenclaw because he's all about the Boy Scouts and he follows a book.
Yep.
Dewey is a Gryffindor because he jumps into danger without thinking about things.
Mhm.
Louis is a Slytherin because all he
Oh,
cares
he is
about
about
is
this
money.
money and ambition.
And then I guess Hufflepuff. I don't know.
What's funny is I think Scrooge Gryffindor, even though he cares about money and stuff
Yeah.
a lot, he's about like it's the appeal of the action adventure of stuff that makes him like
Maybe Launchpad is Hufflepuff.
It's weird. I didn't know the DuckTales were part of the MCU. That's a cool little.
Actually,
They
you know
can
what's
be.
funny is they just introduced Darkwing Duck into the universe
into the.
Yeah.
in some really cool way they did it.
Don't spoil
and-
me. I haven't caught up on season 2 yet.
And then but they also have
Into the Duck
Into the
and-
DuckTales
and
universe.
DuckTales universe, not
Yes.
the MCU.
Right.
Okay, just making.
but
sure.
it is a Disney franchise.
That's what I'm saying.
And they also introduced what's it called? The Iron Man duck.
Iron Duck.
There's an Iron Man
Iron
duck.
Duck.
And so we're like, okay, are we doing a Duck
That-
Avengers here? Is that what's
That'd
happening?
be awesome.
Because we got heroes, we got villains.
An Iron Duck would be really inconvenient in the water. I feel like that wouldn't work very
I
well.
forget his name. Oh well, I'll find it. Yeah, I think we did a pretty
The
good
second
job.
part of this
wow, we did
question-
a better job than we thought.
I'm going through
A
like
second part?
If we
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson's Slytherin. What's his name?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Captain Marvel's Gryffindor.
Yep.
You don't think Captain Marvel's a bit of a?
She could
I
be
feel
a
like
little
she could be a
Slytherin.
little Slytherin.
She could be a little Slytherin-y, but it's more she's doing it out of something to prove, not because
Okay.
you know what I mean. Like it's like is she
Okay.
doing it out of power? No, she's doing it because.
And I'm not saying that in a negative way.
Yeah,
I
no,
love Captain Marvel. I'm
Slytherin's
just,
not
yeah.
like to me. That's not outright
Right.
negative. It's just ambition.
T'Challa.
I think Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so,
yeah,
too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a bunch of paladins. That's what's hard about Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh, what about
Bunch of
Scarlet Witch?
Oh.
Oh. I kind of give her a Hufflepuff.
I kind of thought that too in my
Yeah.
gut. I felt Hufflepuff. I don't know why.
Like she's in it not because she like chose to be in it. You know, she's super loyal,
Yeah.
but she's loyal to like Vision.
Gizmo Duck. That's what I was thinking of.
Gizmo Duck.
Duck.
Gizmo
Gizmo
Duck's voiced by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Really?
What? Really? I haven't gotten that far in the show, but all right. I'm looking
Second
forward
part of
to
this question, which is what we'll end on. Speaking of Hogwarts, Luis, how's Harry Potter?
it.
going?
Oh, that's
Yes.
right.
How is Harry Potter?
Okay, so I came to the realization the reason why I wasn't reading it was because I didn't want the books to end.
Yes.
And so I really stopped reading for a long time. I'm reading the second to last book now. They are in the school. They're back in the school, and I found out that what's his name is the new teacher of the dark arts. Come on, guys.
Snape.
Snape. So Snape is now the teacher at
Snape's the headmaster.
what?
Wait, what?
Snape's not the headmaster.
Oh, teacher Dark Arts.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
And
I was like, I got the titles confused.
yeah. And then they introduced the guy who took over for potions. And
Slughorn?
yes, and he's kind of like a guy collecting students so that to be like as a way like finding good wizards, like what's he doing? He
Trying
collects
to remember.
he collects
He's
students.
the spider.
Yes.
It's like he collects
yes,
favors.
He
He collects favorites. Yeah. And so there's that one
the
scene.
Slug Club.
Yes. And so I got to the part where he collects all these people, and then Harry sneaks in to the Slytherin with Draco Malfoy is in there, and then Draco's like freezes him, and then
Yeah.
like beats the shit out of him with his foot, and he's
Mhm.
like left there under the blanket.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, that book's
And he's
real.
like bleeding like in his
rough.
mouth, and he can't move, and like the train leaves.
Yeah,
without
yeah.
Anybody noticing? And he's
Yeah.
just stuck there. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I forgot about
That's
that.
so gnarly. And so, I think that. And now they're in school. Specifically, they're doing what? I don't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, I'm getting back into it.
Cool.
I had to
Good,
read some.
good,
I had to
good,
read
good,
some
good,
other
good.
stuff for work. But yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, we're at almost 2 hours,
Okay.
so we should probably get the fuck out.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Woo.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, next week I'm gonna be gone for Comic-Con,
Yeah.
so we probably won't record then. But maybe the week after.
Okay.
Yeah. If for some reason we can't, I want to plug that I'm going to be doing a live stream of Icarus from Gen Con.
Nice.
On the Gen Con, I'm pretty sure it's on the Gen Con Twitch channel.
When's that?
It is. Let me pull up the date so that I know. I should have been prepared. I'm not a
Be
Boy Scout.
prepared.
Be prepared. It will be on Thursday, August 1st at I'll tell you the time. Anyway, I'll tell you the time in just a minute. But we're gonna be live streaming there. It's gonna be some people from Geek and Sundry that I'm playing with.
Where's that
so,
happening?
Gen Con is in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
Nice.
So we'll be on there. We'll be doing that. I think it's at 3:00. I'm pulling it up really quick. Sorry.
This is end of July.
August 1st.
August 1st. Okay. So
August 1st, and I'll be there doing that. And I'll also be doing demos and stuff too. I doubt anybody is who's listening to this will be there, but if you happen to be in the area, come by. It's at 1:00. 1:00 on Thursday, August 1st. And I will be doing it with Ivan Van Norman from Geek and Sundry, and also Erica Ishii from Geek and Sundry.
Oh, she's cool.
Erica is fantastic. I've met her once, but I'm excited to be able to play with her. So that's all for me, plug-wise. Oh, also, go read Ruby. Go read Ruby.
Yes,
Go read
please.
Ruby.
Please read Ruby. Please, just please read it.
Go read Ruby.
Just read
Go
it and
read
talk
it,
about it.
goddammit.
Just like
We need you to read Ruby.
we really need you to read it.
It
And,
helps us.
yeah,
Every page count helps us in this battle. So, Luis, what about you?
You can
Any
find me on
lessons?
Instagram, Louis12. Also, I'm popping around on People Be Like now.
Yeah.
So check that out. We're got a video taste test, like I said earlier. And then we've been doing some what's it called? Table talk-esque type of things.
Cool.
So People Be Like, check it out.
How about you?
Ruby. Just read.
Just read Ruby.
Just read Ruby.
RubyWhipple.com. RubiWhipple.com.
Yeah. And
Dot
I still
com.
do the vlog
Yeah.
and
check out
stuff,
the
but
vlog.
I mean, I'd rather you guys focus on Ruby. That'd be
That's
real
kind
cool.
of our big project right now. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at StarlineX, pronounced Starline X, and you can find me on Instagram at Starline, again, pronounced Starline.
Aw, yes.
You can find me at Spenser Starke, pretty much everywhere. And that's it. That's what we're gonna go out on.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming to sit down.
Thank you.
This has
Yeah,
been
this
so
is
nice.
great.
I miss all of you. Now we're all in different places, so this is even more important than before.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, have a good day. We'll see you soon.
Okay,
Goodbye.
bye-bye.
Goodbye.